right, check 1, 2, 3, 4.
So can I go ahead and come on the field?
Y'all come down. They shouldn't give you any problem.
Did he say he had you?
Yeah, he said he had it.
What, just now?
He did have it.
Look it back up.
He'll get the better with me, huh?
Kirby, he's talking to you.
The Oxford High School Corporate and Business Sponsorship Program helps us to reach many young people in a positive way. We are excited that these businesses have chosen to participate as a sponsor of Oxford High School.
How do you test the ref mic? Not the ref. Chaz asked.
With Oxford High School, contact the school office. Our
Okay.
and business sponsors for this year are
You want me to turn it off?
Yeah, I guess until
Okay.
America's First Credit Union,
For the Oxford Yellow Jackets, 2024 was a much celebrated season, their best since their state championship season of 2019. They lost an important part of that run to the semifinals last year, but returned plenty of top talent as they take on one of Georgia's top teams as Central Carrollton makes the short drive over from West Georgia to take on the Oxford Yellow Jackets for Oxford, their 2025 season opener here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. We begin our countdown to kickoff, which, as always this season, is brought to you by our friends at Bama Sheds. We appreciate you for joining us in on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, including on our FNN app. And there you see Central Carrollton already 1-0 on the season as they had a shutout win at Spalding last week, and Oxford about to begin their 2025 campaign. Happy game day wherever you're watching us from here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. James Hardy with you, and of course Coach Eddie Bullock riding shotgun with me, Shasta Jones on the sideline, as well as our FNN crew. Eddie, we should have an interesting ball game for our Game of the Week tonight as Oxford opens up their season against a pretty stiff test in Central Carrollton.
Absolutely. You're talking about a really, really stiff test. You're talking about Central Carrollton and of course Oxford did a fantastic job last year. They was one win away from making a pretty good run, and hey, you can't ask for a better game tonight.
And, of course, kind of hard to believe for Coach Sam Adams. This is his fifth season at Oxford High School after coming over after the 2020 season from Hillcrest over in Tuscaloosa. And Sam, he's just done better as he's gone along here at Oxford, now up to a 34-15 overall record in 5 seasons at Oxford with a 90-44 career head coaching mark, including his 7 seasons down in Tuscaloosa at Hillcrest. 13-1 last year, and you take a look at the profile for Oxford head coach Sam Adams. He's got another outstanding ball club this year, but an important piece, Eddie, from last year in Mason Mims that has gone up to play in the ACC up at Louisville.
Well, it's hard to replace a Division I quarterback. I mean, he definitely be missed, but I know Oxford got a pretty good squad coming back, so they'll be a force to contend with this year.
We'll talk more about Maddox Mims as far as the younger brother of Mason Mims that we'll see started quarterback. But you look at Oxford, they have a couple of first-team All-State outstanding Division I talents themselves this year in wide receiver Jalen Taylor, and then moving from defensive line to linebacker in Keenan Britt.
Right. You got, Taylor made plays throughout the whole season, and, Britt is what we call a head knocker.
And I tell you what, it's going to be an interesting matchup as far as Keenan Britt and that Oxford defense, because they're going to go against one of the top running backs in all of the state of Georgia. As before we get to that, we take a look as far as our broadcast location, right atop as far as the home stands here at Lamar Field on the campus of Oxford High School here in the heart of East Alabama. And I'm interested, Eddie, in seeing Jonas Walton, a Notre Dame commit, a big physical, really has all the tools, according to Coach Umbre Jones, for Central Carrollton. Jonas Walton, already a Notre Dame commit and one of the top running backs in the entire state of Georgia.
Well, I didn't get an opportunity to watch him play last year, but hey, I guarantee you I heard about him, and I heard how good he was, and actually I was trying to find some footage to actually watch him play, to see if, the rubber meets the road, and from what I heard, he's an outstanding running back.
And you look at as far as Central Carrollton head coach, speaking of Coach Umbre Jones, he's done an outstanding job after coming over from Paulding County just a couple of years ago. This is Coach Jones's 3rd season at Central Carrollton, and he's including their season opening win last week. They've already won 22 of their 26 games that Umbre Jones has coached, including his debut season in 2023 with a 12-1 start to his tenure at Central Carrollton.
Hey, well, you know what we say as coaches in the film room. We said the film don't lie, so the same thing with the numbers. The numbers don't lie.
This is true indeed. We should have a very interesting matchup to tonight's season opening start of the 2025 season for Oxford, and then the second game for Central Carrollton. We'll step aside. We've got more as far as our countdown to kickoff, brought to you by Bama Sheds, as we'll take a look at some of the big ones from around our area and the state of Alabama. For much of the state of Alabama, the opening week of the 2025 season, and still our keys and a lot more leading up to kickoff here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
We had no idea of the opportunities that were available to him, and we're so thankful for the direction AMDB has given us.
This spring and summer, get it done right with Oxford Lumber, your hometown partner for projects big or small. From refreshing your garden to upgrading your outdoor space, we've got everything you need. Check out our full garden center and gear up on our Still showroom, chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, and more. Ready to grill? We've got Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone to fire up the fun. Since 1985, Oxford Lumber has been built on tradition and focused on you. Visit us today at any of our 5 locations: Oxford, Roanoke, Talladega, Jacksonville, and Lincoln. Oxford Lumber, where you're treated like family.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
The Bama Sheds countdown to kickoff continues, leading up to Coach Sam Adams' Oxford Yellow Jackets and then the Lions of Central Carrollton and Coach Umbre Brown. As we continue with our coverage here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, James Hardy, along with Coach Eddie Bullock, Shasta Jones, as well as the rest of our FNN crew. And Jim, I believe this may be the first opportunity we get to look at our big ones coming up, because let's not forget, all across the state of Alabama, for much of the Yellowhammer State, it's also the opening week of the regular season.
Oh, absolutely. And we saw some things yesterday that kind of, made us think this might be a tough game for Oxford tonight. I mean, Moody went over to Georgia, and they just got spanked. Number 1 team in Alabama in Class 5A. Eddie, they had their hearts broke early.
Hey, I learned a long time ago, most of those teams that are really good over in Georgia, they're not a joke, man. I mean, when you go over there, you talk about classification, they got some really good teams.
Absolutely. And, James, we probably need to let Jackson know we're going to bring him in here in just a few minutes and let him kind of introduce himself as the newest member of our Behind the Microphone bunch. He's down on the field right now with Shasta, and they're going to share a mic here for a few minutes, and we're going to get to these big ones and kind of tell everybody what's going on here. Let's start with this one right here, James.
I tell you what, that's one of the better games to open up the season in any classification across the state of Alabama. B.B. Comer, I could see them giving Wadley a pretty good game even on the road, but Wadley, a powerhouse, the top program in Class 1A, set to begin their quest to defend their 2024 state championship. I like Wadley to take care of business at home.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think Wadley will take care of business.
You didn't want that easy one, did you, Eddie?
I take them. If you give them to me, I take them. You put me on the spot.
I hear you. Well, let's bring Shasta in, and first of all, say hello to her for, really our second week now. She did a great job with AIDB last week. But, all right, Shasta, here we go. This will be your first time to get your picks in. We're going to see how you fare.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, we got you with B.B. Comer and Wadley. What do you think?
I'm going to go with Wadley just because of the record, I think, last year. So
Now, is Jackson down there with you?
Jackson is here between B.B. Comer and Wadley.
Hand him the
I'll tell you what, Wadley lost their head
softball.
coach this year, but they still got Jaquez Wilkes, and the question is who can stop him, and I don't think B.B. Comer can.
All right, James, let's serve up the next one here for everybody. This one's a much better football game. I like Central Clay County at home, James, but Hanley's a tough squad.
That'll be a good a good test for Handley as far as getting their Class 4A schedule, or at least their regular season schedule underway. But Central Clay County at home, just a little too much tonight.
I think I have to agree with y'all on that one. Clay Central, I think, just be a little bit too strong for them at home.
Yeah, I like Clay Central as well. Jackson, what do you think?
And I'll tell you what, this is a very, very intriguing game. And, Central Clay's got J.T. Wilkerson at quarterback this year. They lost some seniors, but they got the whole offensive line coming back this year. Hanley, on the other hand, they're kind of young. They do have some really good seniors, though. But I think I can't pick against Danny Horn. I got to go with Central Clay.
All right, well, that's a clean sweep there for the Volunteers. Up next, let's deal with this one. There is a lot of unknowns going into this game, James.
I'll tell you what, Jacksonville bringing in a new head coach for the first time in almost a decade and a half, as they're taking an Etowah squad looking to rebound and really kind of gain some stability from really a rocky last several years as far as their coaching turnover. I like Jacksonville to win at home tonight.
Well, James, I think I'm going to have to disagree with you. I think Etowah pretty much have it pretty much together with Jacksonville getting a new coach in, and then, from a little bird, I heard they lost a few players. So I think Etowah will sneak in there and get a win.
Yeah, I got to say I like Etowah in this one, too. I think it's going to be a tough year for the Golden Eagles. Clint Smith left for White Plains, and, they got the coach in from Boaz. He's there now, and I like what he says, but, Eddie, it's not always about the X's and O's.
It's about them Jimmies and Joes.
Absolutely. All right, Shasta Jones.
As much as I want to side with Coach Bullock sometimes, I am going to have to go with everyone else and go with Etowah on this one.
All right, let's hand it over to Jackson and see what he thinks.
I think I'm actually going to go against Shasta this time, and I think I'm going to take Jacksonville here. And I'll tell you why. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're going to have Kamari Harmon at quarterback this year. He's very shifty, phenomenal athlete, and I think he's really going to give Etowah problems on the ground.
Well, I don't know if Jackson can hear me or not, but we don't do stupid things on this show. All right, let's move on here and see what's up next for us in these big ones tonight. Oh, boy, this is another one that's got a lot of ifs and what-ifs and all that kind of stuff with it. You got the coach from Cherokee County that moved down to take over Lincoln. Lincoln had won one football game in 2 years. A lot of work to do there, Eddie.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to be a little bit tough for Lincoln, again, going down into Shelby County. I'm going to have to go with the home team.
Yeah, I agree with Eddie on that. A lot of work to do for the Lincoln program over the short and the long term, and I don't think they get it done tonight on the road.
Shasta, what you think?
I'm going to have to agree with y'all and go against Lincoln. I don't think they're going to pull it off.
Okay, Shelby County times 4. I'm in there with the Shelby County folks as well. And Jackson, you're going to go backwards with us here? I think he said Shelby County, so we're just going to move on. All right, up next, Horseshoe Bend at Sachs. It has been, I tell you, Eddie, I know Shannon Felder's your buddy, but I felt awful for him at media days, and we talked about this some, James. I mean, Sachs had 18 kids at that point. I don't know that they've still got 18, but I don't know how you pick this one.
Well, Coach Felder again is my buddy. I love him to death. But I agree with you. He's pretty much been telling me about his struggles throughout the year, and it's just hard to play at the level that he's at with 18 players. And he told me on a good day he had 18. So, I think it's going to be tough. I think Horseshoe Bend is going to go in and pretty much take care of him at Sachs.
Yeah, 18 players in practice, much less a game. That's tough to work with for a coach, and going to be a long night for Saxon, probably another long year for them.
Yeah, I really hate it because, you know, they're just a couple of years removed, James, for playing for a trip to the state championship, and, man, the wheels have just come off that deal, and hopefully Coach Felder can work it back out if he can stay there 2 or 3 years and maybe turn the thing back around. You know, the athletes are there, but, Eddie, they're losing some of them to some of the programs around their area, and that's hard to fight.
It is, and it's tough when the new coach come in because it's a lot of unknowns.
All right, Shasta, what you think?
I'm probably going to have to go with Horseshoe Bend, just with the new coach at Sax. So.
All right. Hand it over to Jackson down there.
And once again, Sax is very young, but I got to go with Shasta here, and I got to go with Horseshoe Bend.
All right, James, let's see what else we got here. Oh, boy. I'm going to let Eddie pick this one first.
Well, I'm going to give y'all some advice. I got an opportunity to watch Piedmont playing some 7-on-7. And when I tell you they tough, they are really, really tough. They got a little guy up there by the name of Pinto. I think Cherokee County is going to be in trouble tonight, so I'm going with the Piedmont Bulldogs.
Yeah, I like where you're going, Andy. I think Cherokee County by the end of the season could once again be in that contention to go deep in the 4A playoffs. But tonight, with losing Tay Diamond and losing the pieces that they did from last year and really the last couple of years, I like Piedmont as well at home.
Okay, I'm going to take the Bulldogs as well at the Field of Champions. You're up, Shasta.
I got to go with Piedmont. You know what? I'm a big Raleigh Pinto fan. I like what he's been doing, and I think he's going to bring it tonight.
And I 100% agree with Shasta here. Piedmont, Raleigh Pinto is one of the best in the entire state. He's very phenomenal. You know, they lost some key guys at wide receiver this year, but they have some young guys coming in. They're going to replace them, and I can't wait to see them play again this year.
All right, there we go. All 5 for Piedmont. Yeah, that'll make all those folks up that way that watch us each week very happy. Southside up at Guntersville. This has always been a very tough game for Southside. Guntersville seems to slip up on them a lot to start the season. Miles Holcomb is back with the Panthers. What do you think, Eddie?
Well, I think, like you said, it's traditional. It's going to be a good game, and it's typically a tough game for Southside. And, you know, I'm going to have to go with the home team with Guntersville at home against Southside.
Yeah, always a great opening season test for the Panthers. I think a good return for Miles Holcomb to come back to Southside after spending one lone season down in Tuscaloosa County. But tonight won't be a good night for the Panthers. I like Guntersville.
Okay, Shasta, you're up.
I got to agree with Bullock. I think it's going to be a good game, but I'm going to have to go with home field advantage and go with Guntersville.
And once again, I 100% agree with Guntersville winning this game here. I think they're the more physical team and the more talented team, so we'll see how that plays out.
And I'll cap it off with going with Guntersville as well, as the Wildcats will host Southside here on the first week of the season. Okay, Talladega at White Plains. I think this game's got a ton of interest, but we're going to hold off on that because we've got the national anthem, and we're going to let you hear that from the Oxford Marching Band.
Tonight's performance of the national anthem will be performed by the Oxford High School Band. Our national anthem will be followed by the Oxford High School alma mater. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
The Oxford Marching Band with our national anthem as we continue on our Bama Sheds countdown to kickoff. Our next big one to look at for much of the state of Alabama, the 2025 regular season opener, Talladega at White Plains. Eddie, let's get you started. Should be an interesting matchup as Coach Clint Smith will make his White Plains regular season debut tonight.
Now, this is going to be an interesting game because Coach Dorsey has Talladega has improved, and, they kind of get in the groove of what he wants done. But, however, you got a veteran coach at White Plains, and White Plains got a pretty good amount of guys that return, and they had a few transfers in. So I'm going to have to go with White Plains at home. I think they're going to take it. It's going to be a good game, but I think they're going to take it at home. As you alluded to, Eddie, both programs in the right direction, but also Coach Blake Jennings didn't exactly, as you mentioned as well, totally leave the cupboard bare for White Plains. So I like the White Plains Wildcats to win at home tonight as well.
All right, Talladega and White Plains. What you think, Shasta?
I just really think they're going to pull it off with a new coach, so White Plains Wildcats.
And like I said, I got to go with Talladega here as well. Talladega is phenomenal. They're on the come up. They got a young team out there, and it's going to be a good game to see.
Okay, so I got to tell you, I'm kind of thinking the same thing, Jackson. I think Talladega goes into White Plains tonight and gets the W. I think good things are going to happen at Talladega if they just kind of stay with what they're doing right now. There's always been athletes down there, Eddie. It's hard to argue with, if you get the right coach in there that can keep the glue going, and it'll be a good thing. All right, here we go. Next one, Oak Grove at Weaver. What do we think of this one, guys? James, start us off.
Ooh. Interesting, especially a lot of momentum for Weaver coming off that, let's face it, miraculous run just to get themselves in position, much less actually make the 3A playoffs last year. Should be a pretty good game at home. I like Weaver to get the season opening win tonight.
Well, I think Weaver, as you mentioned, had a miraculous run last year. They did a great job, and they capped it off with getting in the playoffs, and that's what you want to do. So I kind of agree with you, James. I think we've pull it off at home.
I kind of like the Weaver Bearcats in this one as well. Shasta, you're up.
I'm not going to go against the grain. I'm going to go with the Weaver Bearcats as well.
And I agree here. Weaver, they're an experienced team. They're talented. They've been in those big games, so you can't pick against them.
All right. Well, then we're not going to. And that brings us to what we came here for tonight. Of course, since we're doing the game, we don't pick it, but we'll give you the lowdown, starting with James.
Well, you take a look, obviously, Oxford, an outstanding 13-1 season last year, and Central Carrollton at 9-3 last year as they lost in the second round of the 4A playoffs in the state of Georgia to Cambridge last year, and then Oxford losing to Parter in the 6A semifinals last year. As I say, the captains for both teams already have made their way out to midfield, and they haven't quite, or at least made it to the 50, haven't quite gotten to the Big O Yellow Jacket logo out in midfield. But we will take our first look at the captains along with Kamari English. It is Jalen Taylor, Keenan Britt, as well as Josh Stack for Oxford, and then for Central Carrollton, J.R. Harris, Jonas Walton, Jarrell Long, and Tay Crowder. Kenneth Breeding's our referee, and we will send it down to the field here shortly for our toss of the coin as part of our Bama Sheds countdown to kickoff, and our toss of the coin brought to you by Dana Lacey's Beauty Mart. A big thanks to Dana Lacey's Beauty Mart for presenting our coin toss. And there you see Oxford. They'll be wearing the black tops and the gold bottoms today. And they got those black tops with the gold numbers this year as we take a look at the coin toss. And looks as if Oxford has won the toss, and they will defer their option until the second half. Central in their white tops and bottoms and those crimson numbers and letters and the crimson headgear, as we are almost ready to get things started. Our first AHSAA game of the season. And for Oxford, of course, their 2025 opener. Eddie, let's go ahead and get your keys for tonight's game for both teams.
Well, I think my basic keys always go back to, with Oxford returning, pretty good amount of guys. I think, they got to win the battle at the line of scrimmage. I think you got to establish a run. We already know they can throw the ball. Mims could throw it, and you got a receiver out there. You wouldn't waste him. But, they're going to have to spread the field and establish a run. And I think in order for Central to show what they can do, they're going to have to come in and actually negate that. They're going to have to stop the run, and then they're going to have to probably put two people over, one underneath and over the top of Taylor to slow him down.
There you see the Oxford Yellow Jackets waiting to come out of their pregame tunnel. At least a good week of practice for Coach Sam Adams' squad as they get ready to open what they hope to be just as successful a 2025 season as they had last year, by far the best of the first four seasons for Coach Sam Adams, with that 13-1 mark and the run to the state semifinals where they came up just a little bit short to Parker. And then we'll see the other side in a minute as far as Central Carrollton, but here comes the Oxford Yellow Jackets onto Lamar Field for the first time in 2025. A big piece gone from last year in Mason Mims, but they'll have his younger brother Maddox Mims succeed him at quarterback, but also two outstanding pieces to lead them in Jalen Taylor and Keenan Brith, both seniors, and both next year will be playing Division I football at the next level. And on the opposite side, I imagine, in addition to Jonas Walton, there'll be plenty of Lions from Central Carrollton that will be doing the same in their futures. The Lions of Central Carrollton, they will be opening up the football on offense, so they will be receiving the opening kickoff. As you take a look at what was a pretty good season for Coach Umbre Brown in his second year over in Carrollton. Central Carroll Lions about set to get their second game of the season underway as they won 37-0, an ideal way for the Lions to get their 2025 campaign going with that shutout win.
Well, that's how you want to start it off. I mean, hey, anytime you can get an opening victory, for the season, that's what you want to do, and you try to keep that momentum going.
Now we'll see a number of return products as far as the kick return game. Avery Tanner, Jake Ivester, and Cannon Jones among them for Central Carroll. And she'll have Jones, the deep man, and Oxford ready to kick things off to open the 2025 season. William Burke ready to meet toe to leather. Oxford undefeated at home in 2024, and they certainly want to get off to a good start here in 2025. And it's a short end over end kick. Will be fielded around the 25-yard line. As Oxford, initial good contain, but a good solid return up to the 35-yard line for Jones, as he's able to get the Lions some good field position. As we'll take a look at their starting offense, J.R. Harris, the cousin of former Anniston quarterback and Alabama quarterback John David Phillips, he gets the call at quarterback. And then Jonas and Jace Walton in the backfield. We'll see Rhett Nelson at tight end. And then at receiver, Jake Ivester, Avery Tanner, Allenson Simmons, and Griffin Bass. Offensive line of Sam Walker, Tay Crowder, Jacob Fountain, Jonathan Watts, and Ben Hobbs from left tackle over to right tackle. And by the way, Bell Ringer Florist and Gifts presents our first and also all of our kickoffs for tonight. 1st and 10 for Central Carroll, as the give goes to Jonas Walton as he finds some running room off the left side. And his line of forward progress stopped about the 39-yard line for a gain of about 4 yards. We'll take a Oxford Lumber Ace Hardware second look. Just a little simple kind of lead play off of left tackle that gets a solid 4 yards to set up a second down and very manageable. Harris now, as you see, empty backfield.
Well, anytime they go empty, you have to be aware of the quarterback draw right there. 'Cause that's what a lot of times that's what they spread them out for.
Snap has some pressure applied by Oxford, and the throw on the run in traffic, and is the catch made? As that was a nice job by Ivester of negotiating the far sideline as he's able to make the grab and move the sticks on the first down of the night.
That was a great throw right there. You can see as he was rolling out right there, linebacker came to pull him up right there, and he had to get rid of it right there, and he made an excellent throw right there.
We have whistle stopping the play. Our first quarter brought to you by Beth Thomas Alpha Insurance Agency, serving Calhoun and Talladega County. As a gain of 13 yards for Central Carrollton. The Lions across the 50-yard line for the first time this evening. Jonas Walton, the lone setback. He'll get the call off the right side. Plenty of running room as he sees daylight and gets yet another Lions first down, a gain of 18 yards to the Oxford 30. Let's take a look at the Oxford starting offense, but not after this first down run on the Oxford Lumber Ace Hardware replay.
Just a little zone right there. You're going to see him come off, and they just wall the whole side right there.
And there you see excellent blocking from the right tackle, Ben Hobbs, and the right guard, Jonathan Watts. 3 plays and already to the 30 as the RPO pass over the middle with a flag in the defensive backfield goes incomplete as Harris targeted at that time Christian McNeil, the Oxford Yellow Jacket cornerback.
Well, you got a post route right there, and it was looked like incidental contact, but he got that.
Kenneth Breeding confirms the pass interference call. Oxford up front. Josh Stack and Terrion Russell, the defensive end. Xavier Endicott back at nose guard up front. And then Keenan Britt moves from defensive end to linebacker this year. He also joins Jayaz Fleming, Christian Draper, and Aiden Noyola as the linebackers. And then Jalen Robinson and Christian McNeil, the corners. And Marcus Lawler, Kamari English are the Oxford Yellow Jacket safeties. Football in the red zone at the 15-yard line. As the play action, a good play action that time by Harris. He gets it complete, and the Lions score. There's a flag on the play, so hold everything as Jonas Walton with the so far touchdown reception, but we'll find out if that gets called back.
You got a hold out there on the receiver on the outside.
So indeed, as Eddie told us, the holding call that'll wipe off the touchdown, but these appear to be thrown inside the 10-yard line. So Kenneth Breeding about to confirm the Central Carroll penalty. These two teams played last year to an Oxford 55-45 victory. They'll move the football just beyond the original line of scrimmage.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
There you hear referee Kenneth Breeding. Football at the 17-yard line.
The one thing I love about that penalty is the fact that it's a spot foul. So, wherever it happens, that's where they mark it off at. So, on positive gains, it don't hurt you as bad.
Jace Walton now the lone setback. At least according to Coach Umbre Brown, Jace more physical than Jonas is. As here's a quick pass near side through the hands, incomplete. As the intended receiver was Allenson Simmons. A little bit hot on that pass and high as well from J.R. Harris, the junior. You look at both of these teams, Eddie, not a lot of seniors on both sides of the ball as far as the starters, so I imagine there's a lot of long-term potential for both of these teams, at least over the next couple of years.
Absolutely, but I tell you what, J.R. is spinning that football right now. You can tell he's very confident and comfortable at what he's doing. Oxford is going to have to get some pressure on him.
Jace Walton again in the backfield. A second down and long as play fake, and Jonas Walton makes the catch. Stutter step move as he powers forward to the 10-yard line. That's a gain of about 7 yards and certainly a manageable third down scenario coming up.
Well, now same play that they ran the score on, they just ran it to the right side there. They give you a play action right there, and the running back comes out, and the receivers stalk block on the outside.
Beth Thomas Alpha Insurance Agency, serving Calhoun and Talladega counties. She presents our first quarter. Third down coming up. Line to reach just outside the 5 for the first down. So third down and about, we'll call it 4. Here's the give. Chase Walton as he runs over one defender and lunges forward. Second effort, Eddie. Looks as if got Jonas Walton the first down.
Absolutely. Looks awfully close. They call him fourth down, so he's about.
Yeah, he was stopped initially about 1.5 yards shy of the first down, but his size and power able to run over a Yellow Jacket defender for Oxford and get the first down. Or at least initially, now a 4th and a half yard, and now the quarterback sneak and the push from his teammates propels J.R. Harris to officially now a first down. I thought Jonas Walton had gotten the first down, but apparently they marked the football, at least with the knee stopped, about a half yard shy or so. But no worries for the Lions as they keep the drive alive.
Right. I thought he got the first down as well, man. But they're in their power set now, so you know they're going to run the football. But got to protect the edges, though. Got to protect the edges.
Walton up the middle, stood up.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, your neighborhood Grub Mart is your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop.
Carroll takes a 7-0 lead. We're 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the opening quarter here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Central Carroll as the Lions able to march down the field 65 yards and score on a 5-yard touchdown run from Jonas Walton. James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock, Shasta Jones down along the sidelines. The season opener for the Oxford Yellow Jackets as they look to duplicate their semifinal round run from last year. We'll see Maddox Mims take his first snaps as the starting quarterback for the Yellow Jackets of Oxford as that Jake Davis kickoff goes into and through the end zone. A touchback as Oxford takes over first down and 10. What is going through the mind of Maddox Mims, in your opinion, Eddie, as he is set to make his first start tonight?
Oh, he's got pregame jitters. I guarantee, he's probably spoken with his brother, but, this is you coming off a 13-1 season. That's big time right there. And, I know he's feeling a little pressure to kind of duplicate what his brother's done in the past.
Caleb Wynn, the lone setback. We'll see receivers of Jalen Taylor, Andre Ford, and Javen Nix, among others. Here's the keeper for Mims, as he'll get lucky to get about 1 yard or so. Good recognition up front for Central Carroll. Let's go ahead and take a look at their defense. Walker Britt up front, along with Jaden Jones as the defensive ends. Damon Finley, the nose guard. Gerald Long, along with Eli Moody, Nazeal Mitchell, the linebackers. And then the Dogs, kind of a hybrid linebacker safety of Tyler and Tyson Rochester. Second down, quick throw to the far side. That's caught, and moving forward, and Oxford able to get the first down. As that was a solid little, almost kind of a hitch bubble screen type of pass that time to Donovan McComb as he makes his first catch of the season, a gain of 9 and a first down.
Oh, that was a great throw right there. It was a quick game, and, Coach made a good call right there, trying to, take the pressure off of him. Don't want anything deep. A nice, quick throw, safe throw. Kind of give your quarterback some confidence.
Mims on the roll. Taylor the catch at the 35 as he moves upfield and marked out of bounds at the 40-yard line. But I think that should be good enough for an Oxford first down. Taylor had to get right at the 40, which he did. And so the second first down of the night for the Oxford offense as they are on the move and they're back to the huddle. Or back to the line of scrimmage, rather.
They're going to have to put somebody over the top of Taylor. I would have to man him and put somebody underneath him because
here's Mims as he'll just wisely slide down after he's able to get 4 yards to the 44-yard line. The rest of the look at the Central Carroll defense as Cannon Jones and Jake Ivers are the corners, and then Kobe Bailey is the safety. And also we'll see for Oxford at tight end Bo Mims. Jackson Elston, Justin Pham, Jaquez Goodman, Bryson Sanderson, and Jamarcus Simmons from left tackle to right tackle along that offensive line.
And Simmons at cornerback out there against
Oh, look at that tackle that time. Well done on the part of Central Carroll's. They were able to read that bubble screen and hold Oxford to very minimal yardage at the 44-yard line.
Well, it took too long to develop. That's a long throw right there. For Mims right there, and they read it,
Jonas Walton in on defense, able to help make the stop. So no gain on the play, 3rd down and 6. Mims with pressure, quick throw far side, that's caught, but that's going to be about a yard shy of the first down on the catch by Jalen Taylor as the stop made by the cornerback, this defensive back, Allenson Simmons.
And Simmons is a sophomore, so they must have a lot of confidence in him because they got him following Taylor from side to side. So it's going to be interesting to see that matchup.
So 4th down, they're going for it with a long yard to go. They need to reach midfield, does Oxford, to keep this drive alive.
I think they're trying to get them to jump off sides. I'm not so sure that they're going to go for it.
Well, they will, as Wynn on the call. Stutter steps, needs midfield. And I think where they're going to mark it, that's going to be just enough, Eddie, to keep that drive alive. Now, however, Central Carroll says not so fast. However, Kenneth Breeding does indeed confirm Oxford first down. Not by much, Eddie, but Caleb Wynn did just enough to keep his offense on the field.
I think that's a heel-toe spot right there.
That was very, very close. So Oxford stays out on the field. Here's Mims. Tosses down the field toward Taylor. One-on-one coverage and out of bounds with a flag on the play. Looks like Allenson Simmons, the man that could be guilty of the pass interference.
I think that's going to be a close play right there. I guarantee you the coach is going to say something about it when we get the replay.
A second look at that as we'll hear from Kenneth Breeding.
Come down, yell for the Yellow Jackets.
Kenneth Breeding.
It was incomplete. It was incomplete, so we're going to go 15 from the previous spot.
Still early in the season for the officials as well.
So we're going to go 15.
As you hear a little bit of the traffic direction as far as Kenneth Breeding is concerned.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, results in a first down.
But our head referee doing exactly what he needs to do, make sure that the line of scrimmage is correct after that 15-yard penalty. We have come to our first heat timeout of this Friday evening, and so we'll take the timeout with them as we're under 6 minutes to go. Opening quarter, Central Carroll 7 and Oxford nothing. FNN High School football game of the week here at Lamar Field on the campus of Oxford High School, right in the heart of East Alabama. James Hardy along with Coach Eddie Bullock, Shasta Jones, and our FNN crew. Beth Thomas Alpha Insurance Agency brings you our first quarter. Also for the Oxford Yellow Jackets, they hope that this drive is money in the bank, courtesy of our FNN, our friends of FNN from F&M Bank. First down and 10 as pressure comes. Mims steps up and he wants to keep it himself. Gets around the umpire, but at least smartly gets some yards close to the 30-yard line as the pressure came. But good recognition that time, Eddie, by Mims to avoid the pressure and get some positive yards.
Yeah, absolutely. And he probably would have got the first down if they had not the umpire made the tackle.
So the ball at the 30-yard line. Maddox Mims, his debut start as an Oxford Yellow Jacket. As Wynn off the left side has running room and gets the first down and more. He's off toward the end zone but gets knocked out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. And a big fourth down run by Caleb Wynn has kind of sparked this offense for Oxford as you take a look at Wynn on the Oxford Lumber second look.
That was a great run right there. I don't know how he squeezed through that. He probably should have been tackled twice.
Well, they say that he stepped out of bounds a bit further upfield, but still more than enough of a first down run to the 22-yard line of the Lions.
Well, this is a danger zone right here because you got Taylor out wide over here, and you got a sophomore on him. So, that's a tough cover right there. Now he's by himself, so, where the safety's still there, so the safety got help on the inside.
Taylor in motion as the give up the middle. Big room as Wynn gets free. Give him 6. Touchdown, Oxford. A 22-yard touchdown scamper for Caleb Wynn, the senior, as he came up with a big fourth down run to keep the drive alive and rewarded with that touchdown run.
Well, he was excited about it. They gave him a penalty for celebrating, but, he didn't do nothing to me that was outlandish. I think you kind of let that go a little bit. Kid just excited. Just scored his first touchdown of the opening game of the season.
Indeed, his final campaign in an Oxford uniform is Eli Pesnell, set to come on for the PAT. They'll assess. So Kenneth Breeding tells us, of course, the celebration penalty. That'll be enforced, I imagine, on the kickoff.
Right.
So they'll kick things off from the 25 of Oxford following this Pesnell PAT try. Maddox Mims also the holder this season for Oxford. Could be another high-scoring shootout like they had over in Carrollton last year as the kick up, and it is good. So we'll take the timeout. 5:07 left opening quarter. Oxford 7 and Central Carroll 7 here.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
An outstanding response by Oxford as they were able to answer the Central Carroll touchdown drive of their own. An 80-yard touchdown drive, really backed by the legs of Caleb Wynn as he gets his first touchdown of the season from 22 yards out. Kickoff coming up, brought to you by Bell Ringer Florist and Gifts. Not too far of a drive over from Lamar Field. It'll be about 20 minutes or so east as Pesnell, a little pooch kick, lands at the 45-yard line where the fair catch will be made. And let's send it down to Shasta for a little background on senior running back Caleb Wynn for Oxford.
Caleb Wynn this week, and I asked him what he's worked on this summer that he really wants to see improvement on in the games this year. He said he's been working to get his pad level lower, running through blocks, finishing runs. The coach always preaches that he never wants to see the running backs lose yardage, so he just follows forward at the end of his runs. He can say that he's improved on that over the summer. I asked him if he has one goal for this whole season for himself personally. He said 2,000 yards. And cutely, all right, 20-plus touchdowns. No big deal.
Outstanding there, Shasta, as you hear from Shasta Jones as Central Carroll returns on offense. Here's Harris loading up and now dumps it down and behind Jace Walton as running back, incomplete.
Now, that was a dangerous pass right there. If you complete it, it's a big gain. If he, that could have, if the cornerback would have been closer, that could have been a pick six.
Now, Jonas Walton already with a 5-yard touchdown run this evening. These two teams combined for 100 points in Oxford's 2024 season opener at this time last year with a 55-45 Oxford win. 2nd and 10. Harris, time, throws, nobody there, incomplete. Good coverage that time by the Oxford secondary. As they're in business are the Yellow Jackets defensively with the Lions 3rd down and 10.
Well, it was a mix-up on that pass route, looked like to me. He was looking for a deep curl route, and he ran a shorter curl route, and the quarterback threw it to the spot where he thought the receiver was going to be.
Less than 5 minutes to go, opening quarter. Both teams have scored on the game's opening possession. For Oxford, their season opening possession, 3rd and 10 for the Lions, Central Carroll. Harris, screen pass complete. Jace Walton skips around a couple defenders, gets the first down and more down the sidelines and stumbles forward to the 21-yard line. And check that, looks as if Jonas Walton indeed catches the screen pass, and he shows you right there why he's going to play some high-level D1 ball next year.
3rd and long, you always look for screens and draws, and there it is. It was set up perfect right there. And you can't afford to put a running back like that in a situation like that. He's just too good.
May have been a touchdown-saving tackle.
Absolutely.
From Oxford that time, and Lawler. Marcus Lawler, the senior safety, coming up to potentially make a touchdown-saving tackle.
And it was a shoestring tackle at that.
1st and 10 from the 22 of Oxford. As Jace Walton wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Good penetration that time from the front 7. As you take a look at Terrion Russell, among others, help out on the tackle for the Yellow Jackets. Maybe a yard gain, if that. So it's going to be 2nd down and long. Under 4 minutes to go. Good pace going here in this first quarter as both teams able to score on lengthy touchdown drives. For Central Carroll, a 65-yard opening drive that resulted in 6. And then for Oxford, an 80-yard drive that results in 6. Both teams successful in their PAT kicks. 2nd and long.
Central is having a lot of success with the little play action underneath routes, just like that right there.
Jonas Walton on the catch as he stood up at the 20-yard line. Good containment as Keenan Britt, along with a couple of his teammates, Christian Draper, among others, on the stop. And Oxford Lumber, Ace Hardware, second look.
If you watch right here, he didn't get an opportunity right here to turn his pads up right there. He got a guy coming, and that slowed him down a little bit.
Christian Draper leads the way on the tackle for Oxford, the junior, kind of a hybrid player, linebacker, secondary, maybe a little bit up front as well. So 3rd down and long. Football at the 20. Central Carroll needs to the 13 for the first down. Harris on play action. Flushed out. Looks downfield. Wants to throw. And throws in traffic and incomplete. Looks like Ivester might have been the intended receiver for the Lions, as it'll be 4th down with a flag on the play.
Well, he was trying to do the scramble drill, and the receiver picked it up late. He just picked it up too late.
You want to decline it? Decline it.
So it looks as if Oxford's going to turn.
An eligible man downfield on the offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
So 4th down coming up as Jake Davis in the field goal unit coming out to try and retake the lead with about 2.5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. They're going to spot the ball at the 27-yard line, snap from the 20, so this will be a 37-yard attempt for Jake Davis. A near hash mark kick. This would put the Lions on top by a field goal. Snap, holder there, kick, plenty of distance. It is up, and it is good. A 37-yard field goal by Jake Davis puts the Lions back on top. 10-7 as we'll take the timeout here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
First quarter, 2:24 to go in the opening quarter here at Lamar Field on the campus of Oxford High School. We'll have another bell ringer, florist, and gifts kickoff, as it's been a back-and-forth ball game so far. Both defenses trying to get their footing so far here in this first quarter. I imagine we'll be seeing the bell ringer a lot this evening on our kickoffs.
Well, Oxford answered the call earlier. Let's see if they answer this field goal here.
Well, Davis booms this one into and out of the end zone for a touchback. 2:24 to go in the opening quarter as Oxford on their second drive of the night. Our first quarter brought to you by Beth Thomas Alpha Insurance Agency. Also, our game brought to you, as always, by our friends at the Grub Mart, home of the Oleo Donuts, the 99-cent bag of ice, among others. A big thanks to all of our sponsors once again for joining us this season on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. Ball at the 20. Win a 22-yard touchdown run on the first drive of the game for Oxford as the RPO pass complete to the far side as it'll advance the football across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. And first time that we'll see Josh Dupree on the reception, as we do have a flag on the play.
I think Central has changed the defense up, James. They're running a 3-3-5 right now. They got 3 down linemen, 3 backers.
So we'll see if this... So they say that the pass was behind the line of scrimmage. No illegal forward pass that time. So the stop made about the 25, the 26-yard line, looks like, as we have 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Should remain dry this evening, although we have had some rain over East Alabama the last couple of days or so. Actually, not a bad evening for late August. Started off about low 80s with that feels like around 90 degrees. This once we got our countdown to kickoff off the starting blocks. Quick throw and complete. And good catch that time by Oxford.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the
That's a big penalty, Eddie, a holding on the defense.
It's automatic first down.
Yeah, on a 3rd and 2, so yeah, that's more than enough for the first down. As that
holding on the defense, 10-yard penalty that results in a first down.
More than enough to keep the drive alive. And let's see if the Yellow Jackets can take advantage of a break. Approaching 1 minute to go, opening quarter. Wynn finds some room up the middle, and he bowls his way across the 40 to about the 44-yard line. We've seen some good patience and good recognition of the hole by Caleb Wynn so far in his first 2 drives of the night.
Well, the philosophy is they play in Oxford as a spread team, so they're running a 3-3-5. But when you got 3 down linemen and 3 linebackers, they count the numbers and they're running the football because you got them outnumbered.
Here's a quick pass to Wynn, dropped, incomplete. It had appeared that Simmons was ready to make the tackle if Wynn had made the grab. So that stops the clock momentarily with 40 seconds and some change to go in the opening quarter, and another 3rd down situation facing the Oxford Yellow Jackets. The Central Carroll Lions have scored on their first 2 drives, a touchdown by Jonas Walton and then a 37-yard field goal by Jake Davis. Oxford with a 22-yard Caleb Wynn touchdown. And nice job by Maddox Mims, a veteran move from the sophomore to draw the front line for the Lions offside. I think we might have seen something like that from Mason Mims last year, Eddie.
Right, and they're shooting themselves in the foot right there because they're sustaining this drive for Oxford, and that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to give a good team, breaks like this, yeah.
So the only question is that enough on the
prior snap, encroachment on the defense, first down.
I imagine for Coach Umbre Brown, that is not going to be a good part of the film session come Monday.
See, now they're in a 3-3-5, so you'll see them running right here probably. There it is right there.
Here's Wynn as he lowers his head and gets a couple, as you have a couple of Lions on the stop. So we'll take a look as far as Central Carroll, as they had Max Brewer as well as Tay Crowder on the stop. We'll see a lot of two-way players for the Lions of Central Carroll this evening, as that might have been the final play that we see in the first quarter as we're down to the final seconds of the opening quarter. And that'll be it, as there is a flag on the play. And let's see if the flag did get thrown down before the clock went to zeros.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty. We play second down.
So it is a false start. Mark it off 5 yards as we'll have the next play on the other side of this break, because that's the end of the first quarter. A back-and-forth first quarter as visiting Central Carroll scored twice and takes a 10-7 lead into the second quarter here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Basically one untimed down that time for Oxford, as Caleb Wynn able to advance to the Central Carroll 45-yard line. But we'll keep it here as we're now officially through the first 12 minutes of play, as Central Carroll with a 10-7 lead. But, Eddie, so far, an entertaining first quarter as the offensives have been able to get the ball moving up and down the field.
Absolutely. Carrollton has moved the ball well. And Oxford has answered. They done what you're supposed to do. They are moving the ball right now, thanks to the help of a couple of penalties. But, that doesn't really matter as long as you keep them chains moving.
A big thanks to our first quarter sponsor, Beth Thomas Alpha Insurance Agency, serving Calhoun and Talladega County. And also, don't forget, you can also watch us live and on demand when it comes to the FNN app that you can get for your iPhone, for your Apple or Android. You can find as far as the Google Play, the Apple App Store. And I'll tell you what, it's an outstanding app that you can find as far as our Game of the Week schedule. Also, as we mentioned, you can watch our FNN Game of the Week live or on demand when it comes to the FNN app, as well as our upcoming Tuesday night FNN High School Football Coaches Show. Our first one begins on Tuesday night from top of the river on the north side of Anniston. And here comes Mims down the field to Taylor as it is caught, looks like inside the 20. As he was being draped upon as he was making the catch, pushed out of bounds at the 11. A flag, of course, on the play, but I imagine, Eddie, this will be wiped off due to that outstanding catch by Jalen Taylor. So we'll hear from Kenneth Breeding here in just a moment. And so far, the offenses have had their way as they've scored both teams on every one of their offensive possessions.
Pass interference on the defense. That will be declined. First down.
A gain of 34 yards on the play. The pass from Mims to Jalen Taylor, as we'll take another look from Oxford Lumber Ace Hardware. As there you see an outstanding grab despite being held down the field. As here's Mims on the quarterback keeper as he's slung down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. As it'll set up a second down and short. Oxford can still get a first down without the benefit of scoring a touchdown. Alexander's Jewelry and Pawn, our second quarter sponsor tonight. A big thanks to all of our sponsors, as always, for helping make the FNN Game of the Week possible each and every week. Second and short inside the 5. Mims on the give win. Big hole driving toward the end zone. Has the first down. And he'll be stopped just inside the 1-yard line. But no worries for Oxford, Eddie. It's a first and goal for the Yellow Jackets.
Absolutely. They just dominate Central's defensive line. They can't. They front 3, front 4 sometimes can't get any penetration. They don't get a push.
And looks as if a whole new wave of substitutions set to come in for Oxford as far as their short yardage goal line package, as the official at the near side, the side judge, comes in to stop play. We've played 1 minute 19 seconds of the second quarter.
So they didn't get a first down, Jay. Oh, he's changing it now.
So the play clock reset to 25 seconds, and now a first and goal upcoming. Caleb Wynn, the Wildcat quarterback, but a flag on the play.
He had a false start.
So it looks like the left tackle that time, maybe the tight end on that left side, got an early head start. Now they'll move back to the 6-yard line. Still a first and goal, but we'll change a few things up. As another mass of substitutions, Jalen Taylor set to come back out on the field, as well as Maddox Mims, the quarterback. Also back on the field is Andre Ford. 3 receivers to the far side. Play clock down to 10. Mims off the left side, trying to follow his blocking, wrapped up and taken down for a loss. Nicely done by Central Carroll as Jarrell Long leads the way on the TFL. He came from behind that time. Good pursuit to chase Mims down from behind. And so that'll lose a yard back to the 7. Clock stops momentarily, and now we've played more than 2 minutes and 15 seconds of the second quarter.
Watch for a rub route up top, some kind of switch route right there.
2nd and goal. Mims rolls, tosses through the hands, incomplete of Ford. A little bit high, but probably Eddie still should have been caught, and if it was caught, would have been a touchdown.
Well, you look at both of them. We get a replay right here. Taylor's defensive back slipped down, and he had him beat from the beginning. So, I guess I'm just old-fashioned. I would, you put the ball in playmaker's hand right there. I got to give him a chance.
A missed opportunity for Oxford. However, 3rd and goal from the 7. Imagine you'll see them try and go to Jalen Taylor.
Now you got help on the inside. The cornerback is playing inside leverage, but
Here's the quick pass, and that is incomplete, intended for Taylor on that RPO slant. Looks like there might be a flag on the play right in the middle of the field. In fact, there is a flag. As if they're calling for an ineligible man downfield. We'll find out from Kenneth Breeding. Indeed, an ineligible man downfield. Second time we've seen that called. That's declined, and field goal time for Oxford. A short field goal kick they'll spot it at the 14, so a 24-yard attempt for Eli Pesnell. So the angle from the near side. Snap and hold are good. Kick on the way. That is up, and that is also good. We're tied up at 10 apiece. As Pesnell good from 24 yards out. We'll take the timeout. Knotted up at 10. 9:20 to go. Second quarter here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
from the Loft Tackle Store,
from the team in service,
from the team in parts,
from the sales team,
from the Bucks Island family. Good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
It's game day.
Umbre Brown, as he's already won 22 games, including their season opener as the Lions head coach. 1st and 10 for the Lions as they've scored on both of their first 2 possessions. Some good running room up the middle for Jonas Walton, as he already has a touchdown this evening. Advances the football to the 44-yard line, a solid 6-yard gain. We've seen both Jonas and Jace get some running room, and also a lot of activity in the screen game for Jonas Walton with a couple of pass receptions. Officially a 6-yard gain. Second down and 4 as J.R. Harris, empty backfield at quarterback. Tries to set up the screen, the jailbreak screen complete with running room as a big gainer for Avery Tanner as he gets into Oxford territory inside the 40 at the 39-yard line.
That was a great setup, man. That was a touchdown-saving tackle right there. If you look right here, you got a block out there, and you got a block right there.
Split 2 defenders did Tanner. And then that tackle from Lawler, able to prevent a further gain by Central's Tanner.
That offensive lineman couldn't quite get that. That was the block he needed.
So Central ball, first down inside the 40-yard line. Play fake, Harris pump fake. Protection breaks down as he's being chased from behind, but gets the pass off as that is dropped. Incomplete by Avery Tanner.
Did a great job. The receivers just not on the same page with the scramble drill. That could have been a big gainer right there if the receiver comes back to him.
Although that pass went right in and out of the hands of Tanner. Second down. Alexander's Jewelry and Pawn. Some outstanding wholesale jewelry. Our second quarter sponsors. Our second FNN game of the week this season. And so far back and forth. As the give to Jonas Walton. Slips out of one tackle and gets free as he reverses field. Stumbles forward to about the 30 and spotted at the 29-yard line. And he showed some good vision, good balance as well, and power to get his team a first down.
And I'm looking at his speed. You know, when I initially saw him run, I thought he was more a downhill power guy. But side to side, he's hard to tackle. I mean, he has great speed and great agility.
7.5 minutes to go, all ready to go in the opening half. Ball to 29. Walton spins and wrapped up maybe for short yardage. There's Keenan Britt, also a couple of his teammates. Christian Draper, Jaez Fleming, among others on the tackle. A modest gain, very minimal gain, actually. In fact, they'll say just gets back to the line of scrimmage. So second down. Both teams have scored on their first 2 possessions of the night. 5 receivers all to the near side. As J.R. Harris alone in the shotgun. The quarterback keeper up the middle as Harris gets out of the initial wave of defenders, and he's close to the first down, stopped by about a couple yards, maybe a yard and a half shy of the first down. Either way, a third and short on the way for the Lions.
That's a quarterback trap right there. You see they make you overload one side, and then they bring the wing back. I used to call that my cowboy back. He comes back, and they pull a guard, and they kick out, and the quarterback just fit up in there.
Third and short. Jace Walton, the setback. You have Ivester to the far side, and then Jonas Walton lined up as like a wing back to the near side. Jace Walton on the carry. No, check that. A great play fake as Jonas Walton, the completion, breaks out of one tackle. And does he stay in bounds? Yes, sir. Touchdown, Lions.
Well, I tell you what, I was lost on that play. I was looking for the football.
I tell you what, I was looking at Jace Walton. I thought he had gotten the carry. That was a brilliant play fake by J.R. Harris. He's able to dump it to Jonas Walton for his second touchdown of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm following the football. I'm like, which way did they go?
That was a bit of trickery that time from Harris, as we'll take an Oxford Lumber deserved second look. And there you see, or at least you saw Walton able to slip out there and make the catch for a 21-yard touchdown reception.
Well, you know, they scored on that play earlier as well.
Jake Davis on the point after. That is up, and that is successful. 17-10 in favor of Central Carroll. 5:40 to go, opening half here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNN Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnn.bank. Member FDIC.
Central Carroll 17, Oxford 10. Second quarter, 5:40 to go in the opening half. As Jonas Walton took in a play-action pass from J.R. Harris and was able to rumble down the sideline for 21 yards, his first receiving touchdown of the night, and his second touchdown, including a 4-yard rushing touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. Oxford goes on the road next week, their first road game of the season, and it's going to be a tough road trip for them over on I-20 to Moody for a return trip after hosting Moody for their home opener last year. For Central Carroll, they'll open their home schedule to close out August against Hiram over in Carrollton, Georgia next week. However, for the Lions, they'll have Jake Davis ready to kick off as he already has a couple of touchbacks. Oxford has scored on their first 2 drives so far. End over end kick as Taylor receives at the 1. He'll try and angle, loses the football. A fight for it as it is still a loose football as the bell ringer kickoff, quite circus-like kickoff. As thankfully for Oxford, they were able to corral the football, but deep in their own territories, Josh Dupree able to rescue the football for the Yellow Jackets.
I thought that was going to be a. I thought that would be a.
After play, we have unsportsmanlike. The white team. 15-yard penalty.
Oh, man, what a break for Oxford in 2 ways. They get the football back and an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty by the Lions that at least bails out the Yellow Jackets with an extra 15 yards to start their drive. I'll tell you what, Eddie, Oxford played with a little fire that time. They're lucky they did not get burned.
Yeah, absolutely, and I know Coach he's going to have a fit at halftime because they kind of, getting themselves in good situations, and then they bailing them out by, getting untimely penalties.
So they'll spot the football at the 20-yard line, so basically just like a touchback. Maddox Mims a solid start so far as he gives to Wynn. As he finds some running room, breaks out of the tackle, and gets to the 29-yard line. And we heard Shasta talk about Caleb Wynn earlier, and he's off to a pretty good start so far in his first few carries tonight.
Well, and he got experience, man. He's a senior, so, that's what you expect. A big game, he's a big-time player, so he's trying to make something happen.
A gain of 9 for Wynn as we'll have a whistle and a stoppage in play. As let's go ahead and send it down to the sideline for our own Shasta Jones as she has some info about Jalen Taylor.
I asked Jalen what's been up for his big goal for this season for himself personally. He said personally he wants to excel, just do better than what he did last year, as in yardage, all-purpose yards, and he wants to become and just be labeled one of the best receivers stat-wise in Alabama. And he wants the younger players coming up after him to learn from him this year that anything is possible and size doesn't mean anything.
Here's the give to Wynn. Didn't need much and didn't get much, but enough to keep the drive alive. As a 1-yard gain to the 30. And that's enough for the first down. By the way, Jalen Taylor committed to play his college ball up in West Virginia at Marshall University. So he has a chance to make a few trips back home, down south to the state of Alabama as far as Sun Belt Conference play. Here's the quick screen that's complete. Taylor able to lower that shoulder and get across the 35 to about the 39-yard line. We're coming up on 4 minutes and change left in the opening half. A solid beginning to his start by Maddox Mims, the sophomore. 5'11", 155 pounds, and what Coach Adams wants him to do, just distribute the ball and get that ball to the playmakers. Give to Wynn, as he'll bury himself across the first down marker to the 41-yard line. A back-and-forth ball game so far, as neither team's defense has been able to get off the field so far tonight.
Absolutely, and the Oxford offensive line, to me, right now, they got a little bit more spunk than Carrollton's. They're getting a little bit more push up front. You know, they kind of controlling those guys.
Here's Mims. Quick throw, and that's complete to McComb as he bangs his way forward close to midfield. A lot of high percentage throws so far. We have seen a couple of deep balls attempted by Maddox Mims. As a solid gain at that time by Donovan McComb as he's able to get to the 48-yard line. The Yellow Jackets hurry up after a 7-yard gainer, as we'll have a stoppage in play. And we have, looks like a timeout called for, I believe, by Central. So we'll take the timeout with them. 3:09 to go opening half. It is Central Carroll 17, Oxford 10.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Coming out of the timeout, you take a look at Mims.
You're going to watch right here. He gives himself up, and this guy comes down and just try to level him right there.
In fact, got a pretty good wallop as well. Oh, wow, you heard that, a targeting penalty that you just saw from Tyler Rochester, one of those dog defenders that's like a hybrid safety and linebacker for Central Carroll. And even 3 minutes to go in the opening half with Oxford down by a touchdown. However, the Yellow Jackets on the move with the penalty. Football inside the Lions 30 at the 26-yard line.
Central has to be approaching 100 yards in penalties, though. They've been penalty riddled.
Here's a timeout called for by Oxford, so both teams down to 2 timeouts. 2:41 to go opening half. We'll take the timeout with them here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
We had no idea of the opportunities that were available to him, and we're so thankful for the direction ANDB has given us.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
From the Loft Tackle Store,
From the team in service,
from the team in parks,
From the sales team,
From the Bucks Island family, good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
Coming out of the timeout, a swing pass to Caleb Wynn complete, but Central Carroll pursues very nicely defensively to force a 4-yard loss back to the 30-yard line.
Absolutely. They had that diagnosis look like coming out of the huddle.
Alexander's Jewelry and Pawn brings you our second quarter. Play fake and the throw over the middle complete back to the original line of scrimmage. Jalen Taylor on his third reception of the evening, and so at least a third down and a realistic chance, at least for Oxford, despite a long yardage situation coming up. So it'll be third down and about 9 yards to go. There you see the nose of the football just touching the 25-yard line.
See, right here is where you got to put somebody. You got safety over the top, but that's not good coverage right there.
Blitz comes as Mims steps up, throws over the middle, complete for the first down inside the 5-yard line. And great presence by Maddox Mims to find the tight end, Bo Mims, for a huge first down.
That was an excellent throw right there, man. He bought time.
Quickly to the huddle, Oxford, as we'll have a whistle and looks like an official's timeout to get the chains moved.
I think Central. They had too many players on the field, so the coach wisely made a quick timeout call.
We'll keep it here with 1:13 to go until halftime. By the way, a big thanks, as we mentioned always, to all of our sponsors. Alexander's Jewelry and Pawn, our second quarter sponsor, and they have some outstanding wholesale jewelry for you at their store. Be sure to see Shauna as far as some of those great pieces of jewelry to look at when it comes to Alexander's Jewelry and Pawn. Also, a big thanks to our longtime friends when it comes to the Calhoun County Commission and the 5 outstanding folks on the Calhoun County Commission, longtime friends of ours, including Danny Shears, who I imagine we'll be seeing at some point during the football season. Right now, 17-10 in favor of Central Carroll. And, of course, Grub Mart, another one of our outstanding partners here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. And there you take a look at Central Carroll, along with Coach Umbre Brown, who's done an outstanding job as far as getting his team ready. A great game plan, but Oxford also playing toe-for-toe with the Lions so far tonight. Maddox Mims shotgun. Gives Wynn off of right guard as he plows in for the touchdown, his second of the night. A run of 22 yards in the first quarter, and this time a bit closer from 1 yard out. But both the same, 2 touchdowns for the senior Caleb Wynn here in the first half. Now back and forth first half as Oxford a PAT away from tying it up with 68 seconds to go until halftime. Our Oxford Lumber Ace Hardware second look at Caleb Wynn taking it in from a yard out as Pesnell, a little short kick up, and it is good. Tied at 17, we'll take the timeout. 1:08 to go until halftime here at Lamar Field on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
We've seen this will be, I think, our 5th bell ringer florist kickoff so far tonight on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. But Both teams have not been stopped offensively, as both Oxford and Central Carroll have scored on all 3 of their first half possessions. 1:08 to go until we get to halftime. We'll hear from Shasta Jones and one of our coaches prior to the teams going to the locker room as that kickoff goes out of bounds across the 30 around the 26-yard line, and there comes the yellow piece of hanky. Also, as far as bell ringer florists, be sure to scan the QR poster as far as their app, and that'll take you right to their website when it comes to our FNN schedule poster. Bell ringer florist over in Heflin, an outstanding partner tonight as far as our kickoffs and our FNN high school football game of the week. And they'll just redo the kickoff here. And what it appears is the kickoffs, of course, in high school in the state of Alabama from the 40-yard line. So they'll push it back, it appears, 5 yards back to the 35-yard line. So they'll redo the kickoff.
Well, and the strategy behind that is the kickoff team ran down the field full speed one time, so you want to make them run again, and hopefully they make a mistake.
Looks as if Preston Smith deep on the kickoff. Also Ivester, as well as Cannon Jones and Avery Tanner, as that'll sail across the 20, and that also goes out of bounds about the 17-yard line.
You make them do it again.
I don't see why not at this point. No time has elapsed, and I'll tell you what, Eddie, this also provides a little extra field position for Central to potentially get the final points of this first half.
Well, you're hoping that they kick it to a returner with this field position right here because they're tired and they get out of their lanes and don't do what they're supposed to do.
And Jake Davis has a pretty good leg to him, so at least from what we saw in his 37-yard field goal in the first quarter, if they can get the Lions can get the football inside the 30, they have a realistic possibility of at least getting 3 before they go to halftime.
Well, hopefully this is what you're thinking on the return team. When we return the football, you want to get it at least to the 50 or past it, and you do the rest with 1:08.
There's the end-over-end kick. That'll be dropped at the 30, but lands to a teammate at about the 28-yard line or so, and a decent return across the 35 to about the 37, maybe the 38-yard line for Cannon Jones. So Jones able to get that loose ball. And so the Lions, pretty good field position with 1 minute to go until halftime.
Well, but Oxford actually won that battle because if you look, it's almost at the 39-yard line, so you only got 4 yards past what you would have gotten if you received it from being kicked out of bounds.
So first down and 10 for Central Carroll. They mark the football at the 39. Jonas Walton with a couple of touchdowns, one on the ground, one receiving. As Harris loads up and throws down the field, has a receiver and just a little bit out in front of Jake Ivester, incomplete.
He had his man beat.
I was about to say, Eddie, he sliced between 2 defenders that time. Lawler for Oxford, as well as, I think, Jalen Robinson, the cornerback. Oxford very lucky that they were not beaten for a huge gainer on that deep post pass. That may be a play that the Lions go back to at some point in the second half.
Well, right here now, if you throw another pass and it's incomplete, Oxford, you'll probably see them call timeout to stop the clock to try to get a possession back.
Jace Walton in the backfield. And there's a flag on the play right before the snap. Kenneth Breeding tells us a false start. So that moves it back 5 yards. A little under 50 seconds to go until halftime. An entertaining first half as both teams have scored on their first 3 possessions of this first half. Not a lot of possessions, but both teams able to cash in on them. 2 touchdowns and a field goal for both teams.
Now you see him field position work against Central.
So Central now from their own 34. Harris with pressure coming. Steps up, runs a lot of real estate, gets the first down as he steps out of bounds at midfield on the 2nd and 15, a 16-yard scramble for J.R. Harris, the junior quarterback.
Well, and you can see it coming. I mean, he has very good speed, and there's nobody on the left side of the field right there that can get him.
Nobody around. In fact, the nearest player defensively was Marcus Lawler, as he'll be credited on the stop. A 16-yard gain to midfield stops the clock also with 40.7 to go. Harris, time, steps up. Protection breaks down as Harris gets a few yards before going out of bounds across midfield about the 48 or 47. There is a flag on the play, so hold everything here as we'll find out who this goes on.
Want to take it? He wants to take it.
So there you heard from Kenneth Breeding. It's going to go on Central, and so Oxford will accept this penalty. Penalties piled up really, probably other than maybe some of the defensive opportunities that they haven't been able to get off the field. Probably the downer in the first half so far for the Lions are the number of penalties.
Yeah, I think Central are. They probably, I don't know the exact number, but I'm thinking they over 100 yards penalized.
Well, remember on the second scoring drive, actually, I believe, for Oxford, 2 penalties kept that drive alive.
Absolutely.
That led to a short field goal by Eli Pesnell. And also Caleb Wynn, a big 4th and 1 run on that opening touchdown drive at midfield. Here's Harris. Looks for someone, now throws over the middle and has his receiver complete. Across midfield as that's Jace Walton, his first reception of the night as he gets close to the first down to the Oxford 41-yard line. As the clock down to 5 seconds to go. And now down to 2 as they'll have a stoppage in play now as the timeout called for on the field. Central with the timeout. As here you see the Oxford Lumber Ace Hardware second look at that Jace Walton reception. We'll talk to our coaches at halftime, both Sam Adams and Coach Umbre Brown. Been an entertaining first half, Eddie, though.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it's, not a whole lot of, bang, bang, rah, rah, but just solid football, but very competitive football.
What do you see as maybe the adjustments going into halftime that both of these teams, the coaching staffs, will try and make for their teams?
Defensive line of scrimmage, they have to establish that because both offensive lines have basically been dominating. I think even though Oxford hadn't shown it, I think the offensive line has actually blocked a little bit better than Central, and it's just getting stopped. Some kind of way these defenses got to get perked up,
4 seconds to go until halftime. Our Shasta Jones appears will be waiting for Coach Sam Adams after what might be the final play of this opening half as the pressure comes to Harris. Harris steps up, throws for all it's worth toward the end zone, and that is intercepted. Jalen Taylor on the interception as he keeps this game tied at 17 apiece. As we'll take a second look at this Taylor into the half INT.
Well, and that's all you want to do. I mean, no harm right there. You want to throw it to the end zone to give your receivers a chance. And if Oxford was on the other side, hey, I'd make that same pass and give Taylor a chance to go up and get it.
Or Shasta Jones in position, waiting for Oxford head coach Sam Adams as the Yellow Jackets make their way to the halftime locker room. A couple of touchdowns on the ground for Caleb Wynn this evening of 22 and a yard out, along with a 24-yard field goal from Eli Pesnell. And then also Jonas Walton for Central Carroll, a couple of touchdowns. And a Jake Davis 37-yard field goal as we're just about ready for Coach Sam Adams with our own Shasta Jones down in the end zone off to our right.
Coach Adams, the Yellow Jackets, they've shown up. Wynn has showed up tonight. Taylor showed up, but they've had a few mistakes. But this last play in the end zone where Wynn just capitalized on that, what do we need to see in the second half?
Well, we got to be a little more efficient every time we get down there. We took 4 points off the board really twice. We had a false start, we're on the one, and then didn't come up with the ball we got to get. And defensively, we just got to make a play on third down and end some drives. I think we're playing fairly well on both sides. But hopefully our best football is going to be here in the second half.
Well, good luck the second half. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Send it back to you guys.
Thank you, Shasta. Thank you, Coach Sam Adams. We'll go and take our halftime timeout. Knotted up at 17, an outstanding contest so far between Oxford and Central out of Carrollton, Georgia, here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Lamar Field here on the campus of Oxford High School as Oxford and Central Carroll knotted up at 17 apiece, as we'll hear from both marching bands, beginning with the Central Carroll Lions marching band. Central Carroll High School Marching Band here at halftime on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week as Central Carroll and Oxford deadlocked in a good one, tied up at 17 as we'll see the Oxford High Marching Band following this timeout at halftime on the FNN High School Football Game of
the Week. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
And halftime, it is tied up at 17 as we saw the Central Carroll Marching Band to get halftime started, and it appears the Oxford High School Marching Band, they're ready to show off to the fans for the first time this season here at Lamar Field. Always a special part as far as just that culture of high school football when it comes to not only the football teams but also the musical talents from the marching bands that we get to see each and every week across our FNN coverage area. So the Oxford Yellow Jacket Marching Band about ready to perform in front of our cameras and in front of the folks here at Lamar Field. School Marching Band here at Lamar Field, as an outstanding game so far between the Lions of Central Carroll and the Yellow Jackets of Oxford. Both teams with 17 points on the board, as we'll still hear from right before the kickoff of the third quarter, Central's coach Umbre Brown, as we'll take the time out, though. Both teams knotted up at 17 here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
This spring and summer, get it done right with Oxford Lumber, your hometown partner for projects big or small. From refreshing your garden to upgrading your outdoor space, we've got everything you need. Check out our full garden center and gear up on our Stihl showroom, chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, and more. Ready to grill? We've got Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone to fire up the fun. Since 1985, Oxford Lumber has been built on tradition and focused on you. Visit us today at any of our 5 locations: Oxford, Roanoke, Talladega, Jacksonville, and Lincoln. Oxford Lumber, where you're treated like family.
The opening week of the 2025 season across the state of Alabama. James Hardy along with Coach Eddie Bullock, Shasta Jones down on the sideline. We heard from Coach Sam Adams prior to his visit with his team at halftime. We'll hear from Coach Umbre Brown here in just a little bit. But what's impressed you so far about the first 24 minutes of play from both teams, Eddie?
Well, basically how those offenses have moved the football. I mean, Central started it off and scored with ease. Oxford came back and answered. Central scored again. Oxford answered it. Central came back again and scored. Oxford came right back and answered again. So, I mean, that's basically the tail of the tape besides all the penalties that Central had.
I tell you what, really impressed with what we saw from both Waltons. From what Coach Brown mentioned to me earlier this week about Jonas Walton, great vision, breakaway speed, and that physicality, and he's shown basically all of that this evening.
Well, I was absolutely impressed with his breakaway speed. I envision a power back that ran downhill, but you are absolutely correct. He has excellent breakaway speed, and he's very shifty, too.
And I'll tell you what, Eddie, also he mentioned as far as what may be even more impressive, Jonas off the field, in the classroom, a 4.1 GPA.
Oh, hey, that's even better right there. That's the true definition of a student athlete.
Shall we say well-rounded as far as outstanding in the classroom, and one of, if not Georgia's top running back for the 2025 season. And from what also Coach Brown mentioned to me for Jonas Walton, in his mind, one of the top 10 players in the entire state of Georgia, and that is saying something with all the talent in Georgia.
Absolutely, and I can see it. I mean, he looks excellent to me. I mean, he not only has power, he's very shifty.
And then, of course, we see a lot of outstanding talent in our part of Alabama, and a lot of great talent up and down the 7 classifications for the state of Alabama. And we've seen a couple as far as Keenan Britt, who's already committed to play at South Carolina, and then Jalen Taylor, he'll be, at least right now, committed to play at Marshall next year.
Well, Taylor's a great receiver, and even Caleb Williams, I mean, it's just amazing. They're some outstanding athletes, man, and I'm not surprised by anything they do on the field.
I tell you, Maddox Mims has performed really well so far, especially this being his first start at the varsity level and against an outstanding squad tonight.
Absolutely. He's done a great job. I mean, he's taking care of the football. He's made great reads, great runs, and really hadn't made any mistakes. I mean, he's given them a chance.
Looks as if Central Carroll has just about or started to make their way out of the halftime locker room. As at least the start of the ball game, Oxford won the toss, deferred their option until the second half. So we'll see the Oxford Yellow Jackets get the opening kickoff here in the third quarter. Here comes the rest of the Lions out of the halftime locker room, and also Shasta Jones awaiting Coach Brown for the Lions, as the rest of the men in white, as well as the Lions coaching staff, coming down the ramp across the way from just an outstanding and beautiful indoor facility, weight room, and athletic complex in general here at Oxford High. Shasta Jones almost ready to get Coach Brown as she's in position. Coach Brown in position, as they're doing one minor adjustment, and now we'll throw it down to our Shasta Jones with Central Carroll head coach Umbre Brown.
Coach Brown, your offense has done well this first half. Jonas Walton, he's had some great leg work, but let's talk about your defense. They've had some smacks, dead stops, but they've had a lot of penalties. What are you going to do the second half?
Yeah, a lot of effort penalties where they're playing their tails off, and, just got to clean up how we finish that play. A couple of tugs of the jersey. It's just effort penalties. A couple of questionable ones, but that's life, man. It is what it is. We just got to keep playing through it and keep playing hard.
Well, good luck this second half.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Send it back to you guys.
I tell you what, Eddie, you could hear even in that halftime locker room with some of the concerns over the penalties, but I tell you what, even talking with Coach Brown earlier this week, you can just hear the enthusiasm for his team in his voice.
Right, and that's what I told you. I knew he would be a point of emphasis at halftime. He was stressed because those penalties just kill you. They're untimely, and, you wanted to drive that Oxford sustained. They had two big penalties that gave them first downs.
Don't forget, you can always watch us live or on demand when it comes to FNN, of course, at on YouTube, on Facebook Live, but also be sure to download that FNN app, a great app that we came out with a little less than a year ago, I believe, as far as when we gave the official rolling out of the red carpet. You can find our coverage live and on demand when it comes to the FNN app. Just search for FNN Network. Easy access to all our live streams when it comes to on-demand videos and our first upcoming coaches show when it comes to the FNN Coaches Show. But also after our ball game tonight, don't forget the Bucks Island Friday Night Football Scoreboard Show with some game look-ins, scores, interviews, standings, coaches, and a whole lot more following tonight's FNN High School football game of the week. And, of course, we'll have our first FNN Coaches Show coming up from Top of the River on the north side of Anniston beginning on Tuesday. Always a great time as far as visiting with our coaches and players from around the area. And we've got a couple of games for you this upcoming week to close out the month of August. As first on Thursday, the early season rivalry matchup this season at Southside, as Miles Holcomb makes his return to Southside as their head coach, as they'll take on Hoax Bluff. 6:30 for our countdown to kickoff. And, of course, 7 o'clock when toe meets leather. And then we're scheduled to go back to Lincoln next Friday night, our first time in a few years, as another historic rivalry matchup in our area, Munford and Lincoln. And that'll be Munford's regular season opener next week, as they'll make the trip, a little bit of a short trip over to Lincoln in the north part of Talladega County.
And that's a big-time rivalry. They right across the highway from each other, so they get up for that game. Of
course, Lincoln, a rapidly growing community just about 20 minutes west of Lamar Field. Already up to Class 5A. Wouldn't be surprised in a in another couple of classifications, if the growth in Lincoln continues, they may be sniffing 6A status before we know it.
Absolutely. They just got to get it back on track like they had it back when I was coaching. I mean, when I used to coach against them, it was a big-time rivalry.
But right now, Oxford trying to get their first win of the season, and Central Carroll trying to get win number 2 as they were able to take down Spalding 37-0 on the road next week. As the Lions, they'll open up their home schedule against Hiram next Friday night. And then Oxford, it continues to get tough as far as their overall schedule. They have to go to Moody next week for their first road game of the season.
Well, that'll be, and this is a good game to prepare them for that game against Moody. It's going to be a tough game. That's a tough place to go in down there.
And Moody just a field goal shy last year of being 5A state champions. Jake Gaines, one of the rising up-and-coming coaching stars in our entire state.
Absolutely.
I imagine we might see Moody before at least the end of our season schedule comes around in November, but still a lot more to go this year, and a lot more action, I imagine, tonight between the Lions and the Yellow Jackets. Central Carroll and Oxford have scored on each of their first 3 possessions as Jake Davis set to kick off.
Taylor is deep to receive for the Yellow Jackets.
We'll take a look at some scores from around their area from our man Jackson here in just a little bit. First off, we're about ready to start the third quarter. End-over-end kick, as that'll go in and out of the end zone. And let's send it down to Jackson as far as some scores from around our area on the opening night of the season.
All right, I have some score updates here. Coosa Christian over Pierce County 7-0 at half. Then we have Oak Grove over Weaver 20-3. Gunnersville 17-0 over Southside entering the third quarter. Sachs 34, Horseshoe Bend 21. Horseshoe Bend started the game off 20-6, and now Sachs has battled back and take the lead here. Hewitt Trussville over Jag 41-0. Central Clay County over Hanley 18-0. Pale City over Pelham 14-7. Clay Chalkville over Hueytown 22-0. Leeds over Mortimer Jordan at the half 28-15. St. Clair County over Jemison 41-7 at the half. Then Opelika over Benjamin Russell 19-13. Then you got Wadley 34, BB Comer 0 entering the third quarter. Just a blowout win so far for BB Comer.
Thank you very much, Jackson. A look at some first scores from around the state. There's already a couple of quick passes from sophomore quarterback Maddox Mims, as the Yellow Jackets have gotten their first down of the third quarter. Win on the call off the left side as he snakes his way through for another Oxford first down. Our third quarter brought to you tonight by Perez Remodeling, locally owned and family owned as well, as far as specialists in flooring, roofing, and remodeling, and so much more. Football just shy of the 45 as here comes the yellow hanky out on the field. One of the few flags, Eddie, we've seen on Oxford so far tonight. A false start sets them back 5 yards.
Right. I think that most Oxford may have 3 penalties, I believe, and 3 or 4. And they hadn't gotten many penalties, though, but they haven't been as back-breaking as the penalties that Central has gotten.
First possession here in the second half for Oxford. They've scored on all 3 of their first half possessions. Ball moved back inside the 40. Here's Wynn as he gets bottled up to about the 40-yard line. Good pursuit by a trio of Lions defenders. As you had Jaden Jones, the star defensive end, the junior, lead the way on the stop. Also, Max Brewer helped out up front. Second down and very long as Mims winds up, tosses, has a receiver behind the defense, complete at the 30, and here goes Jalen Taylor to the house. Touchdown, Oxford. Another look at that beautiful connection between Maddox Mims and Jalen Taylor.
You can't leave him in single coverage. He's just, right now, he's torching the defense. I mean, just, it's a post route that he brought all the way across the field. I mean, he just, he having his way.
Eddie, you and I were as close to Jalen Taylor as the Central defense was to one of the top, if not the top wide receiver in Class 6A.
Absolutely. You got to know where he is. I mean, he just,
Maddox Mims, a nice job flagging down that high snap. As with the extra point is Pesnell. And now Oxford on top for the first time tonight, up 24-17 here in the third.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
The bell ringer Florist kickoff for Oxford. As for Central, they're able to take the return to about the 25-yard line. Avery Tanner that time on the return. As now for one of the only time so far tonight, Central finds themselves behind down a touchdown. And the way this game has been going, they need to answer offensively to begin this third quarter.
Well, that's the tale of the tape. Each offense that has had the football has scored. So, I mean, Oxford did what they done in the first half. They possessed the football and they scored.
There's the quick throw that's complete across the 30. And able to advance to the 36-yard line is Simmons. Allenson Simmons, just a sophomore, able to make his second grab of the night. As the officials blow the play dead to allow the first down marker to move. A gain of 11 from J.R. Harris to Allenson Simmons. First touchdown pass for Oxford to begin this quarter from Maddox Mims. First of the season to Jalen Taylor of 60 yards. A key play so far in this ball game. Also, Caleb Wynn with a couple of touchdowns. And don't forget, a key play for Oxford on that very first drive, 4th and 1, right at midfield. And Caleb Wynn was just able to grind out a first down to keep that opening touchdown drive alive. Play fake by Harris as he reverses field. And good open field tackle that time by the Oxford cornerback Jalen Robinson, or else Harris might have been running for a first down.
Absolutely. I tell you what, Harris is elusive too, though, man. He got great foot speed. That should have been a sack in the backfield. And
Robinson able to get the ankles that time and able to get enough force to draw Harris down to the turf. Still a solid gain of 5 yards. Ball at the 41. A four-man front for Oxford. Harris, quick throw near side. That's complete to Simmons as he'll spin forward to midfield. And that keeps the drive alive and a first down for the Lions.
Pass complete to Simmons.
Central Carroll trying to move the ball down the field and potentially tie up this ball game as no huddle for the Lions offense. Already a couple of touchdowns for Jonas Walton, one receiving and one on the ground. Here's Harris going through the air, and he'll go the out route, and that's dropped and incomplete. You had the coverage from Jalen Robinson as Simmons just has it go through his hands incomplete.
Right, it hit him right in the hands. I mean, he had the route, but Simmons is going both ways too, so I wonder how much of that's wearing on him. He's trying to defend Taylor at corner. And
about 3 minutes played here in the third quarter. Tied up at 17 at halftime. But Oxford scored on their first drive on 4 plays. The give to Walton, Jonas Walton, as he's wrapped up at the Oxford, check that, Jace Walton at the 40-yard line. And it looks like Keenan Britt on the tackle from the linebacking spot. A gain of 9 for Jace Walton, the sophomore. Third and short. As the play fake, and a bad throw that time that skips into Tanner, incomplete. That was a one-hop throw on a bubble screen RPO play call that time. It's now a 4th down, and a big 4th down offensively coming up for Central Carroll.
Absolutely, and Oxford been getting a lot of penetration on their offensive line, so, this play right here favors Oxford, and you see.
Harris looks as
they
if
got 8 in the box right now.
Looks as if Harris wants to go under center and go for the tush push. Here's the give to Jonas Walton as he drags the tackler with him for the Central Carroll first down.
And they almost had a mix-up back there. I mean, he ran into one of his up backs.
Tackle made by the Yellow Jackets from Jordan Newton coming in at a reserve linebacking spot. And yeah, even at least from the very start, that could have been disaster for the Lions.
Absolutely.
A little out of sync, but Jonas Walton, that is, able to secure a first down.
Oxford defensive line looked like they're playing with a little bit more edge than,
Here's the penetration as Walton able to show that strength, however, as he runs into Terrion Russell and a couple of other Yellow Jackets linemen. Russell leads the way on the tackle after a 2-yard gain. So 2nd down and long. As we're under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter, the opening quarter of the second half, that is. Right now, a time-consuming drive for Central Carroll. Football inside the Oxford 35. Here's the keeper, and now the quick toss complete to the near side. And running out of bounds is the wide receiver, Tanner, as he makes his second grab tonight. And that's more than good enough for a Lions first down. So football moves inside the Oxford 25. The Lions drive started from their own 25 as they've taken about 3.5 to 4 minutes of this third quarter clock. Ball at the 23. Here's Jace Walton on the give as he plows forward in the red zone as he'll get taken down about the 15-yard line. Perez Remodeling, Andy, Glaymar, and Russell all lead Perez Remodeling as far as our family locally owned Perez Remodeling when it comes to our third quarter sponsor tonight. We have an injury timeout. 6.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. We'll go ahead and step aside a quick timeout here as Oxford leads 24-17, but the Lions on the move.
We had no idea of the opportunities that were available to him, and we're so thankful for the direction AMDB has given us.
This spring and summer, get it done right with Oxford Lumber, your hometown partner for projects big or small. From refreshing your garden to upgrading your outdoor space, we've got everything you need. Check out our full garden center and gear up on our Stihl showroom, chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, and more. Ready to grill? We've got Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone to fire up the fun. Since 1985, Oxford Lumber has been built on tradition and focused on you. Visit us today at any of our 5 locations: Oxford, Roanoke, Talladega, Jacksonville, and Lincoln. Oxford Lumber, where you're treated like family.
you see our third quarter score. 6.5 to go here in the third as Oxford leads 24-17 in their 2025 season opener against Central Carroll. James Hardy along with Coach Eddie Bullock, Shasta Jones down on the sidelines along with the rest of our FNN crew. Here you see the football at the 16. 2nd and 3. As Walton wrapped up in the backfield for a loss. As you take a look, who's had a good ball game, Marcus Lawler comes up from his safety spot for the tackle for loss.
Well, you got an unblocked defender on the right side. That probably should have been a zone read. He just came free on the left side, just straight in.
About 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Coming off an injury timeout, and now a 3rd down and 3 on the way.
And don't be surprised if you see them come back to that, because somebody in the press box ought to be telling them that outside defender's running free off of that.
Oxford stacking the box. Pressure comes, quick throw toward the end zone, and the catch made for the touchdown as Harris with his first touchdown pass to Allenson Simmons from 16 yards out.
Well, that's how you answer, man. I mean, Oxford scored, so it's a little bit more of what we got in the first half.
Money in the bank from our friends at FNN Bank for Central Carroll. That 16-yard touchdown and a clutch touchdown pass that time, Eddie, on 3rd down.
Right. You're going to see all you got is a post route. He comes up and go over.
So, yeah, we'll take a look at this connection on our Oxford Lumber Ace Hardware replay. The combo of Harris to Simmons. As you see.
Looked like Metellus froze up.
Well, I'll tell you what didn't freeze up, however, was Simmons able to run through that post route in the back of the end zone and beat his Oxford defender in Christian Draper for the touchdown. And also maybe a cramp that time on the part of Simmons after the touchdown. But he's off the field as Jake Davis comes out onto the field for the point after. Kick on the way. That is up, and that is good. So all tied up again at 24. 5:31 to go in the third quarter here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
On one of the biggest scenarios so far tonight for the Central Carroll offense, J.R. Harris able to get it done with his arm on 3rd down as he finds Allison Simmons in the back of the end zone from 16 yards out as Central Carroll able to knot it up at 24. There's a short kick, might be an onside kick, in fact, as there's a flag on the play. Not sure if the Lions were able to make contact after the 10-yard mark as the kickoff at the 40. So we'll find out who gets called on the penalty. So the Lions, they wanted to surprise Oxford that time on the kickoff, as we'll hear from Kenneth Breeding. So Breeding having a word with one of his officials as part of this AHSAA crew. Both quarterbacks have played very well so far this evening. There you go. Basically an offside, illegal touching from Central Carroll. So it'll be 1st down for Oxford. As here comes the little Statue of Liberty play to Ford as he turns the corner and just tripped up. As I tell you what, going to practice earlier this week, Eddie, they've been working on that play early in the week, and they looked really good going to the bag of tricks for Coach Sam Adams.
Absolutely. They set them up perfect right there. Everybody shifting side to go with Taylor, and he was a shoestring tackle away from walking in the end zone.
Andre Ford on his first carry, as he's able to get an explosive 25 yards and a first down.
And now you got single coverage down here, probably on the best receiver on the field right here, and that's just tough.
Mims rolls, now tosses, and incomplete, intended for Ford. So both offenses so far have picked up where they left off, as Oxford gets the benefit of great starting field position inside the 50-yard line. Andre Ford with that 25-yard end-around carry. And now for Oxford, they'll have a 2nd and 10 coming up from the Lions 24. Caleb Wynn, a couple of touchdowns. Also, Mims to Taylor to begin the third quarter as the delay give. Wynn breaks a tackle, gets the first down into the red zone, and taken down. Loose ball. As let's see, I think the official at the near side says that the ground caused the fumble. And so at least right now, Oxford keeps possession of the football. And now they want to hurry up and get to the line of scrimmage. So 1st and goal as Wynn up the middle, breaks through and powers in for the touchdown. 3 rushing touchdowns tonight for Caleb Wynn, doing in a tough season opener what a senior needs to do, Eddie.
Absolutely, and they just running through them like water.
And there you see Wynn just run over Ivester to get into the end zone on the Oxford Lumber second look. So now Eli Pesnell comes on to try and make it a 7-point Oxford advantage. Mims gets it down as there's the kick by Pesnell. Good. 31-24. Oxford on top. 4:40 to go, third quarter. You're watching the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNN Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnn.bank. Member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Central has the football after another bell ringer Florist kickoff here at Lamar Field. As that Pesnell kickoff was a fair catch by one of the Lions' up men. So Central will have the football from their own 34-yard line, and Caleb Wynn, he's probably played the best game, at least that we've seen as far as the last couple of years that we've been able to come and see some Oxford football.
Absolutely, and I think, momentum right now is on Oxford's side. They scoring a little bit easier than Central did in the first half. They 3 or 4 plays and they in the end zone, whereas Central had to put together methodical drives. So the momentum is kind of favoring.
Here's Harris. He wants to go for the deep out route, and a great throw and catch complete to Jones for the first down.
It's a great throw right there. It's a deep out right there.
In rhythm to Cannon Jones in front of Lawler at midfield. That was We've seen a couple of back-to-back outstanding deep throws from J.R. Harris, one for a touchdown and that time for a 16-yard first down gain. There's the play action, rather, and a good throw again as the catch made by Ivester looks like into Oxford territory around the 35-yard line. Jake Ivester, his second catch of the night. There's the nose of the football at the 35 after a 15-yard first down completion. Looks as if now Eddie, J.R. Harris just getting warmed up.
Well, they're keying on Jonas right now. They're keying on him, and, he is opening up the back end for him,
Here's a quick throw complete to the far side. Simmons, who's had a big night receiving-wise and might have been a face mask, as you had Lawler and a couple of others, including Christian Draper, around the ball for Oxford. However, Kenneth Breeding's had a busy night, as we'll find out who gets the receiving end of this yellow hanky.
Right, it's either face mask or horse collar one. It looked like he grabbed him up around the shoulder pad.
A good crowd tonight here at Lamar Field to open up the season. Kenneth Breeding will give us the official word.
Downfield on the offense. Also, we have a 5-yard face mask on the defense. That penalty offsets. Play first down.
So now, when talking with Coach Brown earlier this week, he mentioned in their season opener they had a low number of penalties at Spalding. Been a few more penalties for his team tonight, including that ineligible man downfield.
It's been quite a few for him, I think Oxford is winning the penalty battle. And, of course, that's always a key. A team to make less penalties usually come out on top.
An even trade-off as far as that offsetting penalty. There's the penetration by Oxford's defensive lineman in Josh Stack, as he's able to disrupt that running play by the Lions and force it back maybe to the line of scrimmage, if not a loss of about a half yard. I tell you, Stack came right off the ball that time, able to get in the backfield and force a no-gain scenario. So second down and 10 yards to go. Come up on the 3-minute mark in the third quarter. Could be coming right down to the wire in our final quarter. Still a lot of football to go. Harris loads up, steps up. Time now breaks down as he's being chased down from behind and gets wrestled down with a flag on the play. As it looked like Jaez Fleming in position for what would have been a great open field tackle. Not sure if he may have gotten a little birdcage that time, though. Oh, man, that's going to be a killer penalty for Oxford off of that face mask.
Absolutely. That's sort of what happened to
personal foul, face mask on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's what happened to Central earlier, sustain a drive, That's a drive killer right there.
Hey, is it cold?
They had a couple of drive killers defensively on Oxford's second offensive drive that led to a 24-yard field goal by Eli Pesnell.
You are correct.
This time the football goes to the 20-yard line. A fresh set of downs. Receiver comes in motion as Jace Walton room off the left side as he gets popped by his countermate number 6 for Oxford, Marcus Lawler, but not before another Lions first down to set up a 1st and goal. Outstanding run off that left side that time. We'll have a couple of games next week as part of our FNN High School Football Game of the Week. We'll make a trip to Southside on Thursday and then just down Highway 77 from there to Lincoln on next Friday night. A busy week coming up for us here on FNN. Also our first coaches show of the season on Tuesday is plenty of room for Harris. I thought once again he had given it off to Jace Walton, but able to at least trick me again that time as Harris able to advance to the 2-yard line as here comes a wave of substitutions for both teams.
Well, it's quarterback lead right there. They faked the play action to right side and had a guy to pull to lead him out to around the weak side.
Under center goes Harris. He'll go behind center, and a great surge by the offensive line. Looked as if, from my vantage point, he got in. And here's the official indication, a touchdown for the Lions.
You know, I always wonder why they wait so late to make that call. I mean, you can pretty much tell initially, you know, if he got in, you know.
Yes, even from that look, it looked pretty convincing that he had gotten into the end zone, even with all that humanity around the ball.
Absolutely.
So J.R. Harris, a big third quarter, as he has a touchdown through the air and now on the ground. And Jake Davis coming on to try and tie up the ball game. A big extra point as we're late in the third quarter. Snap holder there, and the kick up. And did he pull it? Yes, he did, as it's off to the left. No good. We'll take the timeout. 2:12 to go, third quarter. It's Oxford 31 and Central 30 here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. Season opener for Oxford here in 2025, and the second game of the season for Central Carroll out of Carrollton, Georgia. And an outstanding ball game so far between these two teams, as it's been back and forth between both offenses the entire night. James Hardy along with Coach Eddie Bullock. Shasta Jones on the sidelines. We've heard from Jackson, our man down on the sidelines, as well as far as our scores from across the state here on the opening week of the 2025 Alabama High School Athletic Association football season. Of course, the road again to the Magic City this year, but soon enough also the road down to Mobile as far as that Super 7. That was announced earlier this season as far as Birmingham and Mobile basically trading host sites as far as that Super 7 state championship. Before the kickoff, a flag on the play. Bell ringer Flores a lot, bringing us a ton of kickoffs so far this evening. I imagine we won't be done hearing from our friends at Bell Ringer Florist this evening.
5-yard penalty, free kick.
And both teams, especially on a muggy evening, but for August standards, a comfortable evening, they'll still need a lot of those 99-cent bags of ice from our friends at the Grub Mart. And, of course, there's the Bell Ringer as far as some outstanding floral services that they provide in our area of Alabama. And pretty much as far as the Bell Ringer, they will serve you anytime, anywhere, any place. And they present our kickoffs tonight. Our second FNN high school football game of the week this season. They're down in Talladega last week for ASD and Jacksonville Christian for their season opener, as there's the short kickoff. Lands at the 30, a loose ball, anybody's ball, as Oxford able to come out with it, however, thankfully for the Yellow Jackets. Dandre Williams able to secure the loose ball. So almost turned into disaster that time for Oxford as they cling to a 1-point advantage thanks to a missed extra point from Jake Davis. J.R. Harris with a couple of touchdowns, a 16-yard touchdown pass, and a 2-yard quarterback sneak here in the third quarter. Maddox Mims back out in the shotgun. The give to Wynn as he'll plow underneath his defenders across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A modest, or actually a little more than that, a good 5-yard gain actually. They started at the 28-yard line as far as the original line of scrimmage. So a 2nd and 5. Mims rolls, looks downfield, avoids one defender, now cuts it up and gets hit hard across the 35, and that was a wallop that time from one of the linebackers for the Lions. Number 55, Walker Britt, lays a little bit of the wood that time on Maddox Mims.
He hurt, man. He took a hard shot.
Oh, man, you could even tell from up here that was quite a shot that Maddox Mims took.
Yeah, it was a blindside shot. I mean, he didn't see that guy. He never gave up pursuit. It was a legal hit. He just never seen it coming from the backside.
An injury timeout on the field will take it with them with 1:19 to go, third quarter, and Oxford up by 1. Coming out of the timeout, here's the give to Caleb Wynn as he's able to power forward for the Oxford first down to the 45-yard line. As play picks back up here in the third quarter. Our third quarter brought to you by our good friends at Perez Remodeling. Family and locally owned here in East Alabama. Specialists in flooring, roofing, remodeling projects, and more.
Central is getting no push. I mean, absolutely no push on the defensive line.
Well, they did get one of their best defensive plays that time. And she'll take the last look at Wynn getting a key third down conversion. However, Wynn tackled for a loss by a couple of Lions defenders. And Maddox Mims, after taking a hard look, back out on the field at quarterback. Play fake as pressure comes, and Mims just has to get unloaded with a flag on the play. Close to an interception, but also Jalen Taylor experienced a lot of contact with a couple of those DBs for Central. So that's free 15 yards and a first down for Oxford. I imagine with the pressure coming to Mims a little bit more, we'll see a lot more of Caleb Wynn coming down the stretch, especially with the fourth quarter coming up.
They're trying to single cover him. I don't get that. I mean, you know.
On the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
I know that Central's going to see a lot of great wide receivers in their region schedule in Class 4A Region 3 in Georgia, but Jalen Taylor might be the best receiver they see all season long, but give credit to their D. A great surge that time as they push Wynn out of bounds for a pretty big loss. Take a look at who came up with that outstanding surge, because you had 4 or 5 white shirts around the football, including Tyler Rochester from the dog position. That lost 7 yards on the play. Clock stopped at just under 10 seconds to go in the quarter.
Well, you got him single covered again, so I don't, you know. You got a safety over the top of the two twin receivers, but there's no way I would lead the best receiver on the field in one-on-one coverage.
Play clock under 5 as there's a flag on the play. Move it back 5 yards as Oxford will now have a 2nd and 22 to go.
Well, you remember last time they ran a deep post route, brought him all the way across the field, bought time, and he walked in the end zone. So
that was a 60-yard touchdown pass to open up the scoring here in the third quarter.
Absolutely. So, I mean, hey, there's nothing for them to pick up a first down. And then a second down. They don't have to get it all right here. Just get half of it.
Maddox Mims play fakes, quick throw, and through the hands of Jalen Taylor, incomplete. Likely one more play to go here in the third quarter.
Absolutely.
And what should be A tight and nail-biting fourth quarter for both of these teams coming up. Central throttled Spalding last week 37-0, while Oxford had a jamboree game last week. This is the regular season opener.
And again, I hate to be critical, but I mean, you got to put somebody over the top of this kid, man. He's
Here's Mims, winds up, wants to go over the middle, into traffic, and a lick that time over the middle as an Oxford receiver down as flags come in on the play for targeting. Oh my, that's the type of hit, Eddie, you'd see on an NFL Films highlight from about 40 and 50 years ago.
Absolutely.
Oh, man, we'll have to see who that defender was that came like a rocket and laid the blow down, as there's some extracurricular activity with Jalen Taylor and a couple of the Central Carroll Lions. Oh, my. I think Sam Adams also at least giving his 2 cents worth to Kenneth Breeding. Andre Ford, the receiving end of that hard hit. As you had a couple of flags that came out immediately after the hit. You had a cornerback as also a safety that came up and delivered the blow on Andre Ford. Now the clock has gone to 0, so the penalty will end the third quarter here, as we'll hear from Kenneth Breeding.
All right, we have untimed down.
So there you hear we'll have one more untimed down following.
We're going to have one untimed down. Coach Adams, one untimed down.
So there you hear Kenneth Breeding telling Sam Adams one more play to go before we officially close out the third quarter.
Foul, targeting on the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So that is a first down off of the targeting, the second targeting we've seen so far this evening. That's the third time tonight, Eddie, that Oxford has been able to keep a drive alive thanks to a Central penalty. So one more down to go, an untimed down as we've played all 12 of the minutes allotted in the third quarter. And so we'll have one play to get us to the fourth quarter. So they still have third down on the down marker across the way. So the football now at the Lions 37. Play action pass over the middle complete, and that should be good enough for the first down with a flag just about as the tackle was made as Taylor on the reception. Flag thrown right in the middle of the field as the umpire threw the flag right about when the catch was made.
I think you got in there to receive it. Okay.
That's indeed what the initial indication is from Kenneth Breeding. A lot of penalties for both teams so far in this third quarter. So that wipes out about an 8-yard pass reception that would have moved the sticks for Oxford. Sam Adams doesn't like that call as he's well out onto the field for Oxford. He is dying for an explanation from Kenneth Breeding as far as maybe a receiver that was covered up on that third down pass completion. The flag was thrown right when Jalen Taylor at least was heading to the ground after crossing the sticks initially. Next week, Oxford goes on the road to take on Moody, the 5A state runner-up from 2024. A little confusion down on the field as that
an eligible man downfield on the offense, 5-yard penalty, and one untimed down.
So once again, we'll have another untimed play coming up.
It's the first time in my history I've ever seen 2 untimed downs at the end of a quarter. I've seen one.
Well, eventually we will get through the end of the third quarter. So the clock at 0 as this is an untimed down. Give to win. Not much going for him up the middle as He gets inside the 40-yard line. A couple of Lions on the stop, and now we're officially through 3 quarters of play. As we'll go ahead and step aside for this timeout. 4th quarter coming up, a nail-biter between Oxford and Central Carroll here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Fourth quarter on the way is 12 final minutes. And I'll tell you what, the way this game has been going, we may need more than 12 minutes as far as the duel that the Lions and the Yellow Jackets, Central Carroll and Oxford, have been displaying to us here early in the season. The FNN High School Football Game of the Week. An outstanding ball game for the season opener in the Alabama High School Athletics Association 2025 football season. James Hardy along with Coach Eddie Bullock, Shasta Jones, and our FNN crew. Wheelus Marketing Group, our 4th quarter sponsors as we flip ends of the field. 4th down and 8 for Oxford. On the roll, Mims stops, tosses down the field in the coverage, and is that caught? If it's caught in inbounds, that's a first down, and it is for Jalen Taylor. Let's take another look from Oxford Lumber Ace Hardware on this outstanding, just almost miraculous effort from Jalen Taylor. Take a look at those toes, Eddie. Oh, man, able to hold on to the ball at the 18 and keep those feet in bounds.
Well, you only have to get 1 down in high school. You don't have to get 2 down.
But an NFL catch that time for the Marshall commit. Mims under pressure and throws over the middle, and it dropped and incomplete. Pass intended for, looks like, one of the backup receivers, actually, for the Yellow Jackets in Ashton Clark.
And that's actually a dangerous pass right there because you can't throw high in the middle, and you can't bobble the ball in the middle. 9 times out of 10, those come up as interceptions.
2nd down and 10. A 4-man front. Also looks like 7, maybe 8 in the box for the Lions D. Give goes to Wynn. Finds some running room up the middle as he breaks through close to, and I think he got his Oxford first down.
That's just inside zone right there. They blasted him in the middle. That nose guard is not getting any push. They doubling the nose guard up to the back, and that's automatic 7 yard.
And before they could get the snap off, a couple of Lions were trying to get off the field, and so the officials stop play. Also, the chains had not been set. And here comes a timeout on the field for Central. We'll take the timeout with them. Just underway, 4th quarter, Oxford 31 and Central Carroll 30.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
A first down and goal carry for Caleb Wynn as he snakes his way to the 4-yard line. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage, second down. Wynn off the right side, kind of just coasts his way toward the goal line as he's taken down at the 1-yard line. And Caleb Wynn very productive so far tonight with 3 touchdowns. As it appears, a Central Carroll defender down on the field with what appears to be a cramp. That defender, Tyler Rochester, one of the anchors on that Lions defense. We'll take a injury timeout here. Still early in the fourth quarter here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
The Central trainers still taking a look at Tyler Rochester, who's just getting up off during this injury timeout. The FNN High School Football Game of the Week, as Wheeless Marketing Group brings us our fourth quarter. I'll tell you what, one of the hardest working individuals you will find in this state when it comes to meeting your advertising needs. 31-30 our score right now, as Oxford hanging on to a 1-point advantage, but they're just a few yards away from getting some much-needed insurance as we're early in the fourth quarter. Also, you saw from our friends and heard from Beth Thomas and her Alpha Insurance Agency covering Talladega as well as Calhoun counties, our first quarter sponsor. And also you heard from, in our last break, our longtime friends of FNN when it comes to the Calhoun County Commission. Big third and goal as Wynn in the Wildcat, as thankfully the whistles blow as Wynn dropped the snap, but play had been stopped. Imagine a procedure penalty likely on Oxford. Maybe a delay a game, as we'll find out from Kenneth Breeding.
Substitution on the defense, 12 men on the field.
Oh, wow. 12 men on the field, Eddie, coming out of a timeout.
You can't do that, man. You just can't do that. I mean, that's a focus issue there, and you know, that's, as a coach, I'd have to bite the bullet on that one because that's totally on me.
And then trading the favor was Oxford, as it appeared Jackson Elston had an early head start.
Prior snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay third down.
Yeah, you got a good look at that left side. Elston appeared, moved right before the snap. And so that'll move the football back to the 6-yard line.
Actually, this may be better. Oxford run that inside zone, and they got a little bit more space to, get Wynn and some space.
Caleb Wynn, touchdown runs so far of 22, 1, and 10 yards. And looks as if that Oxford wants to play some power football again with Caleb Wynn as the Wildcat quarterback, but Oxford a little confused coming out of the huddle, and so they'll take the timeout, their first here in the second half, and we'll take it with them with 9:55 to go until the finish line, and Oxford up by 1.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNN Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnn.bank. Member FDIC.
Nine minutes, 55 seconds to go in the final quarter of play. Oxford up by 1 as they have a 3rd and goal from the central 6-yard line.
They outnumbered on the edge up there. If you look on the left side, they outnumbered on the top. And they'll go to play right there.
Mims on the roll, throws to the end zone and has a wide open Ford for the touchdown. A little celebration in the end zone as there comes the flag. But well after that touchdown reception of 6 yards from Andre Ford. Looks as if a pick play that time, and Ford all alone in the end zone. No one in the area code of Andre Ford. Not sure if there's a penalty flag on the play, too, as far as prior to the touchdown from Oxford Lumber on that second look. He also had some good moves from Andre Ford in the end zone. Also caught the attention of the people in zebras.
Well, you have to tone it down. I understand them celebrating, but I'm just old school in a situation like that. Hey, let's win the football game and we can dance after the game. At the after party. But you when you get a penalty, man, that shows a lack of discipline.
Oh, man, I wonder what type of dance that Oxford, or at least Mr. Ford, but more so for Central, they'll be doing after
On the offense, 15-yard penalty.
probably more of a blues dance for the Oxford offense because that touchdown wiped off. Oh, and throw in that 15-yard unsportsmanlike for good measure.
So that's a 20-yard penalty.
That will be a teaching moment, I assume, for Sam Adams come Monday.
Absolutely. You got 5 for ineligible receiver, 15 for unsportsmanlike, and so now.
So they'll spot the football all the way back at the 25-yard line.
Now what you do if you get a stop right here, they got to kick a field goal. And if they don't score the field goal, Oxford may be in trouble.
It's just a 1-point lead as here comes Mims. And before that, the whistles blow to stop play. So Central calls the timeout. They're down to 1 timeout remaining with 9:46 to go, and we're going to keep it here. I tell you what, those were a couple of killer penalties as we've already talked about, and I know that Andre Ford was excited to get his first touchdown in a varsity, what he thought was, I should say, his first touchdown in a varsity uniform. But unfortunately, it's going to be a little teaching moment for him as we'll send it down to our own Shasta Jones for some more insights as far as our players on the field tonight. I think we might be having a few technical issues with Shasta's microphone there.
Well, James, I can tell you right there, that was a touchdown. You had single coverage down here. He blew by the cornerback, and he was going to stand in the end zone and catch it. He had to call timeout. But if they come out of that timeout and you single cover Taylor, then I just don't know what to say. There's no way. I mean, they putting him over there for a reason.
A big play coming up for the Oxford offense as it is 3rd and goal from the Lions' 25-yard line.
Now you got doubles and he's in the slot now, but I'm covering number 1. I'm gonna bracket number 1, and those other receivers got to beat me. Number 5 got to beat me.
3 down linemen. As Mims drops back, throws toward the end zone, and that's incomplete, intended for Ford. I'll send it back to Shasta for some more about our players on the field tonight.
We'd have to take it back to the truck, trailer in charge.
Oh, Jonas Walton met up with me this week. His biggest goals that he's set out to accomplish his senior season. He's definitely improved off of last season where he has around 2,300 all-purpose yards, but his goal for this year is 2,500 yards this season. It's gone up every single season he's played in high school football, and he continues to improve. Speaking of improvements, I asked him if there's one that he has seen in himself on the field or weight room that he expects to help him most this year. He said he definitely believes it's his elusiveness, being able to get in and out of cuts quicker and faster, just trying to be a better player overall.
Here's a throw to the end zone, deflected and incomplete as Ivester knocks it away. And we'll see some of that strength of Jonas Walton here on the next Lions possession. But first, on the Oxford Lumber second look, Ivester slaps it away incomplete.
Look right here, James. He's still behind. He's behind the defensive back. So normally he makes that play, and that's what I'm saying. I don't understand that type of defense.
But Ivester just has enough hops in that defensive backfield to be able to slap it away incomplete.
Now, if I'm the coach, even though he made that play, I'm on the sideline going bananas because you just don't let a player like Taylor get behind you. You just don't let him get behind you.
9:33 to go in the ball game. First down and 10 for J.R. Harris and the Central offense. Give it goes to Walton as he'll tumble over for maybe about a yard or two. Jonas Walton that time on the carry, and a good feature that time from Shasta as far as just the work that Jonas has been putting in the weight room. English on the stop for Oxford. Kamari English, one of the safeties for the Yellow Jackets.
Now, this drive is critical for Oxford right here to get a stop, basically because, understand each team except for that last possession has scored every time they had the football.
Second down and long. Here's the give up the middle. Jonas Walton, a modest amount at the 29-yard line where he's taken down by a couple of Yellow Jackets. Looks like Keenan Britt helped out on the play. And also Aiden Noyola around the football. So third down and 6 as the Lions down 1 on the road, looking to improve to 2-0 on the season. They won on the road last week at Spalding over in Griffin, Georgia. Line to reach with the first down is their own 35 for Central. Harris sets up the screen. That's blown up as now he's looking to do something and just falls down inside his own 20-yard line. Good pressure caused by Oxford's front line as they were able to disrupt that screen pass and force a fourth down and long. Under 8 minutes to go in the football game. As we'll see, for the first time tonight, a punting situation. Jake Davis, also the team's place kicker, will come into punt as Jalen Taylor back to receive. Taylor stands at his own 41-yard line. So now a big defensive stop potentially coming up for Central. And before that, we'll have a whistle and a flag on the play as the play clock had gotten down to 0. We'll hear again from Kenneth Breeding.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty. Replay fourth down.
So fourth down coming up back at the 14-yard line or so. And now Davis in his own end zone. Gets the kickoff. And that will go out of bounds well upfield. well into Lions territory and goes out of bounds at the 39-yard line. So great field position coming up for the Oxford offense as they have a chance, a second try to try and at least get some insurance as we come up on the mid-portion of the fourth quarter.
And James, believe it or not, that was actually a great punt for him to be 2 yards deep in the end zone and had pressure, and he got it off that quick, and you were able to keep it away from Taylor. Now, Oxford needs to capitalize right here to seal the deal.
Wheeless Marketing Group presents our fourth quarter as Wynn off left guard inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. And this is Caleb Wynn time, Eddie, as far as just taking this offense for the Yellow Jackets on his back and get them to the finish line for win number 1 on the year.
Well, and this is a situation where I'd be talking to my offensive line, hey, I want to see what y'all made of. This drive, this touchdown could seal the deal right here.
6.5 to go in the game as Wynn up the middle breaks through as he skips forward inside the 20-yard line for an Oxford first down. I'll take a second look on our Oxford Lumber replay as Wynn able to go right up the gut and nearly able to break it to the house as he was taken down at the 20-yard line. And then quickly off the first down run, another solid 5-yard or so carry for Wynn. As Caleb Wynn, I imagine he's going to get a whole lot more carries here on this drive.
Absolutely. You're running clock. You're down in there. You should be in field goal range right here. So, worst case scenario, you kick a field goal, eat up the clock, kick a the Oxford defense has played well the last couple of series.
Neither team has had more than a touchdown lead tonight. Mims just decides to slide, wisely do so as he went back to pass, had nothing, got some yards, and then slid before he took the brunt of the contact. As right now, Central down to just one timeout as we have a heat timeout. We'll take it with them at 5:33 to go in the ball game, and Oxford up by 1.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
From the Loft Tackle Store,
from the team in service,
from the team in parks,
From the sales team,
from the Bucks Island family, good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
Lamar Field on the campus of Oxford High School in the heart of East Alabama. James Hardy along with Coach Eddie Bullock, Shasta Jones down on the sidelines. Also, don't forget, as far as our FNN Coaches Show making its debut this season on Tuesday night from Top of the River. 7 o'clock, our airtime. And also 2 games for us as part of the FNN Game of the Week, Thursday and Friday. And there's part 1, Hoax Bluff and Southside over at Southside High in Etowah County. 6:30 for our Bama Sheds countdown to kickoff. And then Lincoln and Munford for an early season rivalry matchup. Wynn off the right side. He sees pay dirt. And is he in? Yes, or no, just shy of the touchdown. However, a first down run for Caleb Wynn of a dozen on 3rd and 4. And Oxford Lumber second look. And Wynn playing outstanding, some of his best football in his high school football career as he stretches forward and almost lost the football there, Eddie, but able to hold on to set up a 1st and goal.
Well, and he was at the half-inch line.
And falling on the football after dropping the snap was Maddox Mims as they'll move the football back to about the 5-yard line. And now looks as if the officials have stopped play for a moment.
Helmet.
As there is a helmet issue for one of the linemen as Endicott comes out onto the field. Xavier Endicott now in. That looks like a right guard position. Under 5 minutes to go in the football game. 2nd and goal from the 4. Play clock down to 5. And Sam Adams comes racing out to Kenneth Breeding as he gets his timeout before the play clock can expire. They'll step aside, a timeout with 4:21 to go until we get to the finish line. Oxford 31 and Central 30.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today. Your neighborhood Grub Mart.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds.
4 minutes, 24 seconds left in the ball game. A 1-point lead for Oxford as they've been able to hold on to that 1-point lead throughout this fourth quarter. And they're trying to provide some much-needed insurance. Wheelus Marketing Group, LLC, and WheelusMarketingGroup.com presents us our fourth quarter. Oxford getting their 2025 season off the ground. Forward in motion on the 2nd and goal. As Wynn bottled up as Central ready for it on that running play as you had 3, maybe 4 different Central defenders, including Tyson Rochester on the stop. Tyson and Tyler Rochester, those anchors defensively